You are listening to the Interview Podcast,
where we interview the real you.
We discover our guests' passions, skills, dreams, and wisdom they've learned along the way.
Get ready for some friendly banter,
Controversial hot takes.
Christian pickup lines, and riveting conversations.
Let's dive in.
All right. Isn't that what Matthew McConaughey says?
That's good, Jen. You just need, all right.
Yeah, I knew you would cover me on that part. Anyway, guys, welcome in. This is episode number 22 of the Interview Podcast. Wow. Crazy that we're here, double twos.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have played Taylor Swift's Feeling 22.
That's true, Jen. We should have. All right.
Anyway, but we're very excited, guys, for another episode of the Interview Podcast, and also excited to shout out our sponsor for this episode, which Derek is going to do right now.
Yes. We are shouting out Yoder's Elite Roofing, LLC, a family-owned operation. They're a commercial roofing company out of Newberry, South Carolina. They go to our church there, Barney and his brothers, and all of them. It's a family business. They do a phenomenal job. They service in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia. So honestly, big
tri-state area,
big southern guys. So they specialize in restoration of existing commercial roofs and typically can restore a roof and avoid doing tear-offs and complete replacements. So like if you need something done quicker, more cost-effective. And they offer 10 to 20-year warranties on all of our systems and can be reached anytime at 803-944-3620. And you can also follow them on Yoder's Elite Roofing on Facebook. So anyway, we'll have that linked in our show notes.
And that number probably, right?
And that number. So guys, if you need a roof.
They do a good job.
Hey, guys.
Do they? Oh.
They do a good job.
I want to say this.
Great.
If you need a roof, they got you covered.
Amen.
So
well, you were working on
waiting
that
on
all
that.
day.
Jen, that just hit Jen in a flash, in a moment.
anyway.
Very good. And also shout out, thank you, Barney, and your family for sponsoring this episode. We greatly appreciate it. So, and shout out to our Patreon sponsors. We're 12 deep, and we're loving you guys. So really appreciate you. If you want to support us at $3 a month, that blows our minds every time. We appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are amazing. So really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, Derek, for that. And thank you, Barney. Okay, guys. So we're really excited to introduce our new set of guests for today. And yes, you heard that correctly. Plural, because we have two people in studio today. It is a very, very special couple to both of us. They live here in the area. And I'm just going to go ahead and have them introduce themselves by, guys, just say your names, where you're from, and just a little bit about what you do.
Go for it.
Waiting for him.
Hit it. You go.
I'm Kelsey Schlabach and married to Landon Kelsey. And I'm originally from Sarasota, Florida. Moved here 9 years ago. Yeah, we got married 9 years ago. And stay-at-home mom.
With the blanks there.
I think it's 9. Yeah, it's 9. It's 9.
Yeah,
Off to a good start.
It's not 9?
8.
It's an 8.
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
Score one for
I win.
Landon.
It's been
I'm
so-
just having so much fun.
Yeah, it's been so good. It feels like 9.
Time's flying. Exactly.
October will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
careful.
me.
Goodness, that would have been the Big 10.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
She's expecting big things for
That's
this
true.
time.
That's true.
Yeah, well, I guess she said your name, Landon
Yes,
Schlabach.
I take care of her.
Okay. Is that your full-time job?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Between
fair.
her and the kids. No.
Okay.
Yeah, she does an amazing job with the kids. I simply kind of do some of the other things. So I take care of the
other
business end of
things.
things and house and all of that. Very blessed to have her. She's amazing. She's the rock that keeps us together. So, but yeah, we run a company, short-term rentals management. You guys know that there's a lot of different things that a lot of different hats I wear.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, very blessed in that. So we do a lot of different managing of short-term rentals, vacation rentals for people. So
Yeah.
And your children are?
Yes. And
awesome
Bodie.
kids, man, they're
What
fantastic.
kids? Bodie Cruz?
3 boys. Yeah, Bodie Cruz is 5. Kyler Wade is 3. Zeke Valor is 10 months now.
Wow.
So, yeah.
It's crazy.
What a
And
tribe.
It's a party.
those kids,
That is a
guys,
party.
for y'all that know them, they light up a lot of people's lives here in Polk County. And at church, it's just kind of a competition to see who gets to play with Bodie and Kyler and Zeke after church, because they're
It's
just so much
Some of the
fun.
greatest kids.
They're a ball. We have a blast.
Yeah.
with them.
So we're very excited that Landon and Kelsey decided to take time out of their day to be with us here. And
honor
Landon,
to be here. Thanks
It
for
really
having
is.
us.
Wow.
It's an
Absolutely.
honor.
Thanks, guys.
We're glad
Yep.
to have you.
Thank you.
And Landon's definitely very modest in his introduction. They do a very good job at their business and have a lot going on. And like he said, he wears a lot of hats. And then Kelsey is a really, really good friend of mine, and we do a lot of life together in North Carolina, and I love being able to kind of have her kids as my honorary, nephews.
You're pretty much their aunt.
Since I don't have any of mine here. And so I just appreciate how they open their home up to me, that I can stop in anytime and kind of be a part of their family, and just all that they bring to my life and to the life of the people here.
Mm-hmm.
They're very involved in the community and the church, and just really all around good people. So we're really, really honored to have you guys on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Yep. So we got some unexpected stuff to hit you with, some little surprises
Yay.
here. So see how well you know each other too.
I
So
love surprises.
here we go, Jen.
Yeah,
hit them with it.
This is like the really fun part of the episode to get started, especially when you're first recording, to get loosened up, comfortable, and just give our guests a little bit of an insight into you guys' life that they might not know about you.
Yep.
So this first segment we call the rapid fire questions. So do you guys know what that means? Rapid
Yes.
fire.
Quick answer.
Quick answers. Go with what your gut tells you and be as accurate as possible.
Don't
Those
think
are my
just
favorite.
do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's
So
go.
I'm gonna start out. I'm gonna start out with doing. You guys each answer it. Each answer the question. Start with Landon. This will pave the way for your wife, and then Kelsey, you answer the same question. Okay. All right. Are you ready? What place would you most want to travel to?
This is taking a long time.
I gotta think.
He's like, try on.
No, I love traveling, and I love traveling with her. Probably Israel.
Oh.
I'd love to go to Israel.
Okay.
That'd be
Hawaii.
sweet.
Or Greece.
Hawaii.
Oh, man.
I wanna go to Hawaii sometime.
I
Yeah,
could go
you
on
can do
and
that
on.
this year.
Cool.
Let's go. If you could be a superhero, what would be your superpower?
Any of the ones that can just fly.
So flight.
So flight.
Yeah,
Flying.
which one is that?
Flight.
Flight.
Which superhero?
Oh,
No. It just meant
Sorry,
like,
I
like
meant
power?
Yeah, I did say
Oh,
superhero.
superpower.
But
Yeah,
I
Oh.
meant
superpower.
if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could have a superpower.
I don't know superhuman.
Yeah,
or-
so
whatever those are.
Yeah.
Superman,
whatever they
all
do.
that.
Yeah, you're right.
I would say flying.
Fly.
Okay.
That'd be
Okay.
really
That's
cool
a
to fly
popular
over.
choice.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah. That's good.
It's tied between flying and being invisible because that would be cool too.
yeah, for sure.
You
All
just
right.
want to be a fly on the wall and listen
Absolutely.
to conversations.
Flying around and hearing other people's
Just
stuff.
listening in.
Relationships. She'd be all over
Oh,
those.
stop.
That would be fun. Landon, if you had to change your name, what would you change it to?
Boy.
What a
Deep
question.
hitters there.
I love how they're so
If I
easy
was
in my head
if I
because
was
I've
a
said it a
girl,
lot.
it would
but
be
that's-
Octavia.
Okay.
I
Oh.
love that.
How about Octavio?
I was going to say
No.
Octavius.
No.
That not the go. Maximus.
I'll be honest, I don't even know if I have an answer.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll just go with Landon.
Landon's
Kels,
good.
I've
do you have any
named-
thought?
yeah.
You guys have really nice names.
You really
so
Oh, well, thank you.
kind of solid.
You don't get mad at me for saying this,
Oh,
but
boy.
Aurora.
Wait, Aurora?
Dude, I
Guys, that
literally-
makes absolutely
I
no
know.
sense.
That's why I said don't get
Why
mad.
does it
None.
make no sense?
I never knew that. Because I love that name.
Oh, you do?
If we ever had a girl, I'd want to name her Aurora, and she's like, no. I'm like, why? And
Because she
"Rah,
wants
rah,
it.
rah, 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 rah."
Because I know some people in our lives would not be able to say the name very well.
Aurora.
So
Too many
I was
Rs.
like, I want to avoid
That makes-
that.
Oh,
I
I
am
see what you're
stunned.
saying.
Yeah, I know.
That
It
makes
just
absolutely no sense.
keep going.
Because I'd want to call her Rory.
Yeah.
Oh, that
That'd be
would be
cute.
so
It's
cute.
really
I
cute.
love
That would-
Rory.
Maybe that's why
Couldn't
I
you just
literally
name her
put
straight
that
up
on my
Aurora?
list
Yeah,
of
I would
names.
probably do
Yeah.
that because
I
that's
like
one of
that.
my pet peeves
Yeah.
when somebody.
Yeah. They say a name and they call her something
Yeah,
else.
if you're gonna
Yeah,
name
you're
them
right.
something, name them it. Don't call them something.
So that's why
different.
you.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that's why you
good.
call Kyler Kai.
That's
different.
That's very
Oh.
different.
That's a shortened
Of course.
version
It's
of
just
the
a
name,
quick
not
name.
something
I say
different.
Kyler for the most part.
Do
you?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I do.
I respect that.
It's not like I tell people, hey, this is going to be Kai.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
I
Good
I
point.
get what you're saying. Okay. If you could be transformed into an animal, what would it be? Poor Landon. It's just
Hippopotamus.
Say, you just really could say anything.
A moose.
It's not like
a
this is a
walrus.
quiz
Lion.
later
There
on.
you go.
Never thought of
You
this, if
look
I could
kinda
be
like
Yeah,
an
a
I
lion.
didn't think
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, with that mane
that
you got.
mane.
Lion.
That thing is gorgeous.
King of the jungle.
me.
That's right.
Not
Kels?
jungle.
King of the-
Some
yeah.
kind of bird, so I
Yeah.
could go places.
Yeah, that's
There's the
flight
flying
again.
thing.
I was
Flying with
thinking
an
of
eagle.
I
that.
was thinking tiger because I would love that for a pet, but I don't know if I want to be one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I feel
right.
like
They get
Everybody'd be
shot.
scared of you.
I'm trying to think what kind
They'd
of bird
wanna pet
Kelsey
me.
would
That's
be.
weird.
Yeah,
Never
you're right.
If you could learn any language in 1 week, what would it be?
Hola.
No, it'd be like
Habariako.
Like
Swahili.
another language or just
a full language.
yeah, like
accent.
another language.
No, like a legit.
accent. I'd be Australian.
Oh, of course.
it's
That or
beautiful.
British.
Hey, we'll take it. We'll take that.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's
Yeah,
true.
you like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
All right.
Switch
Switch
it up.
Be Australian.
Nice.
Kels?
If I could have an accent, yeah, Australian.
Okay.
go.
Probably
Wow.
either Dutch or Spanish to answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dutch because I talk to so many people that want to speak Dutch, and I
Ja, säg det Amish.
That would be
Ja,
that would be
du kan
helpful
se-
in your
Du kan
business.
svetsa med
Yeah.
sig. Yeah.
But-
Okay.
Yeah. You're welcome.
What is your ideal outdoor temperature?
75, 80,
Really?
whatever flip flops. If I can wear flip flops
Oh, boy.
all year long,
Man,
I
you can
am
wear flip flops at
happy.
65. Can't you? Can do that. That's like cool.
It's getting a little cold. I want to
Really?
be shorts, t-shirts.
Did you hear
flip-flops.
Greta's hot take
No.
about flip flops? Apparently,
Oh, yeah.
she could never take you seriously. Her hot take was that men in flip flops she cannot take seriously.
Can't take them seriously. Which you wear flip flops a lot.
I wear
man.
them almost every day.
Well, now you know how
Even
Greta
in the
looks at
winter.
you.
It's a
good look.
Is
I
it?
don't really care what people think. So.
I know,
I
which
love
is
it.
why I can mention
that is a hot take.
That's
That's
a little bit.
That's
a little bit of a hot
interesting.
There's just
take.
something about it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love
Kels, what about
flip-flops.
your outdoor temperature?
74.
Oh,
Wow, very
Specifically.
specific.
75 is pretty like on the warm side,
Yeah.
but 73 is a little bit cool. So like
Really?
74.
Wow,
yeah.
Kelsey, you must have a
She
very
knows about
sensitive.
this.
She
you have thought
knows.
about this. Wow.
Okay. What, Landon? What is the first thing you notice about someone when meeting them, like on their face, generally? Or like, you know
What
I
do you
mean? Like,
notice about somebody?
Yeah, like their eyes, their teeth.
Yeah,
their,
sparkle in their eyes. You can tell very quick.
Okay.
And their teeth. Yeah, you definitely do notice that. What?
know.
What?
Nothing. No, don't worry about it.
There's
Sorry.
something
Sitting too
there.
close.
No,
Oh.
no. Jen just touched my leg twice, but it's fine. It's chill. Honestly, I
not
shrug
even
it off.
one
No,
time. Oh.
you did it earlier too.
I didn't
Don't
know.
pretend you didn't feel it, Jen.
It's so close to me. Move over. Okay, Kels.
So what you notice?
Yes, first thing you notice about someone.
I would say like with their countenance also shows their attitude and just I hate
And their
I hate
demeanor.
the word vibe, but like
No, that's
that
But that word makes sense. It
yeah,
kind of
like what's going on, like
encompasses it.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a first impression, and first impression's everything. So.
Yep.
fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
true. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at keeping secrets?
Oh, I'm terrible.
I'm awful.
I'm not. I mean, if I have to be secretive, but typically, if there's
I
something you
think
wanna
I
tell
would
me,
agree with
don't.
that.
Yeah,
I've known Landon long
Landon
enough.
loves
He
to
loves
share
to
things.
spew
I'm
the
a
tea.
pretty open
He-
book.
yeah.
Very open book
I mean,
guy.
I can, but I don't
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
no fun.
I don't enjoy it. I appreciate your honesty.
Kels, what
Landon.
about you?
I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would vouch for that. Oh, that's funny.
You can tell us some secrets about Jen later. All right.
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
going, Jen.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
And then my last two and my favorite two. You talking about how good I am at keeping secrets?
I
I
didn't say
there's
you
a bunch
weren't.
of secrets there. That
She's good.
Ooh.
Anyway, socks or bare feet to sleep.
that's not even a question.
I
I had
know.
heard this brought up. I can get hot in a hurry.
Yes.
Why
Tell
in the
'em.
world would you ever wear socks?
Preach,
That's
brother.
First
so
of all,
dumb.
Preach it,
calm
Landon.
down, world. It is not this big issue. Like
I feel like it is.
I do like 50-50. If
Okay.
I'm cold, I'll
Yeah.
wear socks in the winter, but it's really not that big of a deal.
And if you're
clearly
hot, you'll
not
take them
talked
off.
about this.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Because there are some married couples that if the spouse wants to wear them and the other one doesn't, they won't let their spouse wear them. Or
Wait,
they're like,
legit?
I've
Oh,
had
I
couples say
wouldn't
that
go
my
that
husband
far.
makes me like take them off because
That's weird.
Why?
Seems
I don't
a
know. That's
little-
weird. I guess
I mean,
if you're
I
like
wouldn't go
cuddling
that
or something,
far. I
they
was
want
gonna
the
say, I
feet to
wouldn't
be
go
I
off.
feel like
far.
they're overreacting.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm like, anyway, that's a whole thing.
That's interesting.
Okay. And the last one is toilet paper. Over the roll, under the roll.
We came into this. She had to she was very fiery about that
Were
at the beginning
you?
of our marriage.
Really?
Because
Oh,
I
at
think
the
I was an
beginning.
under guy.
You were an under guy?
And now I'm a bidet guy.
Oh, my stars. That's a whole other subject we don't need to get into.
Babe, honestly?
I could talk for days about that.
We might need to-
But I would probably say over.
Yeah, if you use it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, over the top.
Out here saving the planet.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to have an episode with Landon on bidets because he's passionate
I think
about
you
that.
should just give,
Very.
at some point, give like a little 1 minute like pitch for bidets.
I can do that.
Yeah,
and
we
I
should-
should give a
minute.
one. I
we'll
can
do
give a
that.
1 minute pitch against it. 'Cause
Okay, do it. Then we'll let the
I can
people
shoot
decide.
that
That's
down.
kind of
Then
a
we'll
hot.
let the people
That's
vote,
kind of a hot
bidet
take.
or no
It's
bidet.
kind of a weird conversation,
Yeah.
but you can do it.
'Cause honestly, I used the bidet for maybe one of the first times the other day, and it kind of surprised me. Like it just like
It was
it's-
amazing, right?
It is, but it's a whole other world.
kinda
man.
weird.
Yeah.
You have feelings that you never had before. Like it's just like I'm just saying, it's a
Which
whole
is a
other
red
world.
flag at the get
No,
go.
it's not a red flag. It was good.
If you're getting feelings you've never had before from a toilet
I don't think
feature,
I don't think she's used.
I
it.
have.
No.
You
Have
know
you
what
tried
I'm
it?
talking about.
Not yours. I've tried the actual one, like not the clip on, like when the
I've not
machine
tried an
itself.
actual. No, like
which is
in Europe
better.
or something.
No,
Is
it
though?
was in
I can't
Maryland.
see that being comfortable though because you can't really sit your legs get really strained. You're like
Ugh.
Oh, my stars.
Are you in like a
having to
contraption?
stand over it.
I don't know what you're talking about,
That's
but
like
this
the
one
real
was a
bidets.
throne.
throne?
This one was there's a very rich person. They had it in their shop, and it was an ivory. Like, it was actually
Like a whole separate
Like a
toilet from the
porcelain?
toilet.
There was no toilet. That was what it was. It was a whole thing.
Okay, so it was built into the toilet
built
seat.
in, yeah.
Okay,
But
that
it
makes
was- but it
sense.
was
That's
like-
different.
yeah,
but like
it was-
Europe
Alright.
is like a toilet
Okay.
without a toilet
with an
seat.
attachment thing.
No, there's no
Oh
attachment.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Complete
It's a
separate-
complete separate unit. You're
Yeah.
right.
Anyway, we'll talk about that later because I have feelings on that. Okay,
I
guys.
like
we're-
these hot takes, man. I could go all day with these.
I like it. We're gonna have to dwell on some of those.
I love how prior to the episode, Landon said he's not a very controversial guy.
I know.
and
I was
he's
like,
the
I have
most
0 hot
controversial
takes.
so
I was
far.
like, come on, Landon. Come on, Landon.
Most controversial
I just
guest
don't
we've ever
remember
had.
them until you bring
Yeah.
them up.
That's
So
fair,
you
that's
have
fair.
opinions, but the nice thing is they don't run your life. It's just when it comes up, you're like, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, for
I
sure.
do have opinions
That's fair,
about
that's
that. Okay, guys. So you guys have been married, like you said, for almost 9 years, correct?
8
So-
years, 10 months.
8 years, 10 months. So with that, do you guys think you guys know each other pretty well at this point? I mean, you've done a lot of life together.
You know,
3 kids.
I would say yes, but sometimes he still surprises me.
I
Which
do.
honestly,
That's-
good. Keep them
a good thing.
guessing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Keeps you don't want to be bored.
Now,
Yeah.
does he surprise you with things about himself that you didn't know, or more like he's very creative with things you guys do and stuff? Because I think there's a difference too.
I don't know. Like maybe even he's still like changing in some things too.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
it's hard to describe, but like
no, that's
yeah, sometimes he might do things a little bit differently than I thought.
Okay.
Which is just him kind of changing.
I
and
like
it's not a bad
change
thing.
in a sense. I like to change things up and do things different. So
And it could be
probably
growth
that.
even. Like
Yeah.
as you
yeah,
grow,
absolutely.
you're
That's
learning
cool.
different ways or
Okay.
maybe even better ways
Yeah.
of doing things and thinking about things differently. So it could be good.
All right, let's hit
Okay,
it.
so there's a few questions for you guys to see how well you guys know each other in some areas. Okay, we're gonna start with a very easy one, and some of them I'll have you do both to each other, and then some just you to Kelsey and Kelsey to Landon. So Landon, what is Kelsey's favorite color?
I knew this was going to be the first
As
question.
I was like,
this better
I'm gonna
not
ask
be.
an easy one.
Ooh.
Is
It's
it
not
easy though?
Purple?
Kelsey's
Pink?
So Kelsey's wearing
Red?
purple, and the amount of husbands that will look at what their
What
wife's
the wife's
currently
wearing
wearing.
and, like, call that
and
out.
pick
It's not purple. This is maroon.
Oh,
That's like a
okay.
maroon. It's
Tomato,
yeah.
tomato.
No, I'm very impressed
Oh, did I get
Oh.
it?
because it's like purple. It's a tie between
Oh.
purple and blue.
Let's
but like
go,
I love
Landon.
purple.
Okay, Landon.
But
Yeah.
it wouldn't be like a regular blue. It would be like a light.
like
Yeah, a special blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not just
Or
any
royal.
blue.
Okay. Royal.
Okay, Kels, what about
Something like that.
Landon?
Oof. Blue.
Same as me. Ish.
I don't know. More. I love more teal.
More of
Blue.
a
A teal
Teal.
blue.
Hey, that's in the
Okay.
blue
Yes.
family.
Yeah, that's blue.
It's in the blue
bluish.
family. Okay. All right, Landon, what is Kelsey's ideal date night?
Ooh.
You're taking her on a date.
Oh,
What does she
man.
want to do?
There's a lot.
Yeah,
So
she
if you
likes
get
a lot.
any of
likes
them
a
right,
lot of
you're in the
things.
clear. So just one ideal date night she would love.
We can. Let me see.
Are you stalling, Landon?
Sounds like
Kelsey,
I
if
like
you
to go
know
anywhere.
Landon's. If you know Landon's before he gets his, you can say
I
that
mean,
one.
I
right.
could go and pick up chicken fingers and go to the beach and take chocolate-covered strawberries because that's what we did on our first date.
Aw.
And she would love that. Anytime away with her kids, she's a big fan. Go downtown,
Wow,
go to
that
coffee
sounds
away
shop.
with her kids or
Horrible.
away
Anytime
from
I
her
know,
with
that
no
sounds
children.
bad.
We get it. No, we understand.
So you're saying like taking her kids get a babysitter, you take her, and you guys go do something special together.
Oh yeah, go downtown, go to coffee shops, go to eat at a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
restaurants.
Big food. You're a
Nailed
big
it.
foodie,
She's
right,
a
Kel?
big
Yeah,
foodie.
big
Yeah.
foodie. Yep.
Anything with food.
Okay.
That's fine.
And then Kels, what about Landon? You're taking Landon on the date. What's he want to do?
Honestly, he just want to golf.
Oh, that would be fun.
I think. Yep.
Kels, you could
I don't
do
even
that
have to
too.
bring food. That doesn't even excite him really.
No.
But just
Oh,
like
really?
I'd have to bring
Just-
food for her to join us.
yeah,
Brenner.
I'll bring a snack.
Water and
Sounds like
golf.
my middle son,
That's
Skylar. That's how he is.
Literally. Oh.
Hey, well, there you go. Now you
Okay.
guys know what you can do on your
I
next 2
think
days.
golf.
Okay.
That'd be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Landon, is Kelsey a night owl or a morning person?
Mix. She can do both. You can do both, but I would say more of a. She loves mornings too, though. She can be. You are a mix.
Not really,
Oh, come on. Get it right or don't.
babe.
Morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, nailed it.
She's
Oh
like, you
my.
see me
I
every
can't last
morning.
long.
Well, I mean,
Okay,
I'm up
that's
first
funny.
usually, and
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
No, don't
And Kels, would you say the same about Landon?
Yes.
Morning person?
Yeah.
yeah, that's not hard.
Yeah. Okay, Landon, when Kelsey was young, what did she want to be when she grew up?
Not a clue.
Come on, these are the deep questions you
How
learn as you
young?
were married.
Pass.
Okay, he
Like
passes.
teens.
Yeah.
Oh, she had some interesting teen years.
You didn't know me.
I've heard stories.
I've heard
But clearly not the right ones because you told
Probably
me
a
she wanted
movie
to be.
star or something, or
Ew.
something in music, singing.
Ooh.
Not maybe when
really?
I was 10.
Is there
I don't
anything,
know.
Kel,
She's got some
specific that you would have
interesting-
wanted to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a traveling photographer.
Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
Okay.
Wow, look
I don't
what
know
you
if I
heard it
ever
here
did
first.
know.
There you
We all
go.
did, even her
Okay.
husband.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
That's cool.
Kelsey, did you know what Landon would have wanted to be when he grew up?
I think it depends what age, but like professional football player.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing. Like, we didn't really know each other when we were young.
I know that's a question
Yeah.
more of stuff that you figure
I was
out.
gonna say, as you like date each other, like,
Correct.
which those aren't like super important, but like it's kind of cool stuff to know.
Yeah. The questions here, guys, are not definitely like if you don't know him, oh, you're a terrible husband. It's just like interesting to see the things you've learned over the years. And if you don't know some of them, it doesn't,
Yeah.
it's clearly not affecting your marriage. You guys are fine. Anyway, okay, just about 2 or 3 more here. Okay, if you got a flat tire on your car, could your spouse change it?
Oh man.
So Landon, if Kelsey got a flat, could she change it?
Harry, no.
Harry, no.
Give
Not a
me a little
chance.
bit.
Not
Well,
a chance.
I couldn't
Let me
either.
Google it.
Let me
She
Google
wouldn't
it.
even know where to find a
YouTube it.
jack. She wouldn't even know there's a jack in
I
the
know
car.
what that is.
Would you,
I didn't know we had one.
Or
but I
what
know
a
what it looks
jack
like.
is.
Kelsey?
The long stick
Kelsey,
that
where
goes
is
like
the-
this at the end.
Where's the jack located usually?
Probably in a trunk.
Okay, not bad. So
Is
at
it?
least she knows kind of where to go.
Yeah.
I would look there.
No, she would call someone.
Oh, absolutely. But if I had to figure it out.
Yeah, she'd figure it out. So
Probably end
could
up calling
Landon change
Jen.
a tire?
Jen
Oh,
would be
yeah.
the first call, and that's
Probably.
not going to help the situation.
Landon.
Hey, do you want to come out here
You
and
can
both of us
come
not
and
know how to change
You
the
want to come
tire?
out and just hang out with me because
Figure
we
it
both
out.
have no clue. We'll help
Stop
flag
at a
people
restaurant
down.
first. Yeah. Bring me some.
It's like,
Get your
Chocolate.
nails done.
You're like, hey, I'm already held up.
Absolutely.
You want to bring me some snacks while we, maybe a lawn chair we
Jen
could
will
lay
probably
out?
stop for a nap
Stops
on
at
the way
the
to her.
mall.
Yeah, she would need a nap
Oh,
first.
that's hilarious. That's
Could
funny.
Landon change a tire?
Oh, yeah.
He knows how to do that stuff? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. That's why you're married. Got each other's
you go.
backs.
There you go.
All right, guys. So this was a very friendly question, but we're going to find out, you know how everyone has pet peeves about each other, like especially when you're married. You guys can get it. Like there's things that get under your skin about each other. So Landon, what would Kelsey say is her biggest pet peeve of you
That's good.
that drives her crazy, like more, not crazy, but that she's just like, man, I'm kind of annoyed about this. Do you know what that would be? Because if you know it about each other, it's first step to, you know, peace.
Fixing it. Boy, you guys should be married.
Well, we're
Us,
looking.
not to each
I was
other,
gonna
but like
say,
just
I
in
was
general.
gonna
Like
comment.
Yeah.
you're not to each other. I just mean in general. They're
We know how to
learning
ask
a
the right
lot through all
questions.
this.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Well,
Yeah,
we're
but
trying.
clearly we
Good
don't
question.
have
We're
the
trying to be
answers.
marriage material up in here. That's true.
I mean, probably what we were talking about at the beginning of the show, that I would listen when she talks so she doesn't have to repeat it. But if she would
that's
raise
good.
her voice levels up,
Okay.
then I wouldn't have to repeat it because I could hear it.
Or if you would sit quietly,
So you're-
closely, and look at her eyes and watch her lips and lips read
There you
as
go.
well.
Is it a lack of focus on your part, maybe, Landon?
This question was not that.
Well, no. But I'm saying you're almost blaming her for your pet peeve that she has about you, which is not really
Yes,
fair.
true.
But I see what you're saying. I
Yeah.
do.
I mean, it could be. I like to multitask. I'm not very
Okay.
good at it, but
I hear you.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Is that a good one? Good answer?
Yeah, because that's probably my biggest pet peeve.
Oh, it is.
Wow.
Just
Okay.
repeating myself.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
so
at least you know
so
each
here we
other.
go. We can fix this.
Right here, right now.
Just talk a little louder, and then I'll hear it.
And then
I don't think I need to.
And then also listen a little harder.
Well, my thing is
Listen
like
harder.
as soon as
Focus.
the voice comes, oh, I should listen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
And
thing
focus.
is, her own boys don't hear it all the time.
Well, that's
They are
'cause-
children. They choose
Yeah.
not to sometimes.
Yeah.
They choose not to. You're the
Also,
full-grown
I
male.
actually
Maybe
I
I'm
had
just the full-grown
Let me tell you this
child.
real fast. I had a friend one time that I started paying attention to see if it was just me. We would go hang out a lot, right? And I would ask her questions, and she always asked me same thing. She was always like, "What was that?" And I was like, "Am I not speaking up? Because I don't think that's my issue." And so I started keeping track, like, and seeing it, and if how much time she was doing this, and she did it all the time. And so I brought it up to her, and I said, "Hey, do you actually not hear me, or are you just defaulting to what? Because it gives you time to not hear me the first time and like not actually dial in." And then you say what, and you get to hear it again, which is
Yeah.
actually, maybe I could be like, hey, listen, focus, are you ready? But to me, I'm like, no. So she started thinking about it, and she was like, you're right. She's like, I literally zone out when someone first starts talking to me, And then, because I know I just say what,
Wow.
and then I'm in.
So I have
And
it.
that is that she realized she actually changed it because she's like, that's disrespectful because I'm not
That's a good
giving
point.
them the value of their time, and not saying that, hey, when you start talking like right away, especially for a spouse, if it's just a friend, I guess, whatever. But
I can be like that in that I need time to process what was said. And so I'll say,
Oh.
can you repeat it to give me time to process it to answer? I don't know.
That's interesting.
But
And
not
maybe-
always. Trust me. A lot of times it's just
Yeah.
very quiet talking. And
or so on the boat, yeah. I mean, you guys will figure it out. But it sounds like you
I
guys.
feel like Jen would tell me if I'm too quiet.
yeah. I hear her all the time.
That's fair. That's fair.
Anyway, Kelsey, what would Landon say is his biggest pet peeve about you?
He really doesn't like complain or anything, like, or say stuff like.
Honestly, when you're this close to perfection,
Okay,
Honestly,
What is there to
She's
complain
pretty great.
about?
Why?
But
The
like,
only-
and the thing is, like, and we've done this from a very early on in our marriage. If there's something that is annoying and bugs either one of us, like, talk about it and
Yeah.
share it so that you're not having those pet peeves. Like, we
Good.
don't really have a ton of that. Or
That's
ton
good
of
marriage
birds.
advice.
I don't know.
there's like one more I can think of, like how you eat
What?
sometimes. But like it's fine. Like it's yeah,
fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Well, but
Now she's talking about
I was going
things
to say
about
now
this
she's
was
talking
the
about
other
you.
way
Because
around.
You're
She's
supposed
like,
to do something
hey, wait,
that
I have one more thing.
annoys Landon
the
about
only
you.
thing I can think of is if I say the word never or ever,
Oh.
he doesn't appreciate that.
I
Like
hate
like if I say like,
Those
oh, I
words.
never do this, he goes, really? Never? Never?
That's kind of like
And,
impossible, maybe.
I
or,
can't
Yeah.
stand when someone uses those evers.
Yeah.
Like it's just
those should be very
Like God can never lie. That's true.
Right.
But other than
Yes.
that, you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't use never
like
ever.
to say that I am never going to get married or that I am never going to date this person. I don't know. I can't
That's a
stand when
good
people
rule.
say
That's-
never.
That's
Yeah.
a good rule.
You're speaking those words out there.
or
fair.
the other thing is just like, oh my word, I just died. He's like, really? Did you just die?
I-
Like those powerful
Jen will
words,
say that. I've
he
done
does
that to
not
her.
like.
I
know. I
can't
was-
stand that.
Yeah.
He'll catch me
I
every time
respect
too.
that,
I don't
Landon.
even
That's
think
good.
about it, and I'll be like, or no, I said I die laughing. That's what I say.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh my word, I was dying. And to me, it's the way of getting across how much I was laughing. I'm like, I was
Yeah.
dying.
Those are just very like
But it's
little
like-
Landon's
words
like-
too.
Were you?
Were you dying?
Were you dying?
And there's the point to that I do like in the sense of like respecting those terms of
Yeah.
Yeah.
of
the
like,
actual words.
yeah,
what
like
they mean.
death, dying, putting things out there like no,
Mm-hmm.
should you be flippantly using those words out of context?
Yeah.
I see that.
That's probably a big one that I.
Okay.
That's the
that
only thing I
drives
can
me
think
The
of.
words you
But
use.
she doesn't do that much.
Okay.
Way to go, guys.
We've helped.
Marriage, goals, material.
Nice job. Nice job. Woohoo.
All right, one.
All right.
No,
got
we're
one
not
more?
quite done.
You got one more, Jen?
Yeah, let's do your spouse's number one love language. That's a good one. What is this? This is important. Those 5 love languages.
It
What
really
is
is.
Landon? What is Kelsey's number one love language? There's 5 of them. Physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts, quality time. And we all like all of them to some extent, but usually there's 1 or 2 that are kind of higher on the list that make her feel the most loved.
She loves gifts, and she knows that I'm going to say that. But
She
she's
smiles.
big with quality time too.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I like gifts, but I would say like my first, which I also realize this changes in every season of life, I feel like. So like right now, it'd be acts of service, I would say. And
Okay.
then quality time.
Noted.
Noted.
Yeah, he's like,
Gonna go
duly
home
noted.
and mop the floor.
There you go, Landon. Go. Oh, clean the dishwasher. Clean the dishwasher. Go unload the dishwasher.
Well,
He
actually,
does
that makes
for me.
sense
It's
because
very
when
nice.
you
Yeah,
have
it
3
does.
kids right now, and so probably him, like if he'd walk into the kitchen and start emptying the dishwasher,
Oh, that's
putting with the
amazing.
stuff,
Yeah.
because of how busy you are in life and how much those mundane tasks are so like
Yeah.
get build up and you're doing it all the time. That would probably be like, man, that I feel loved right
That
now.
speaks a lot to me.
And that might not always be when you're older and you don't have that as big of an issue, but like because you're not as busy in that stage of life. So anyway, good to know. Kelsey, what would be Landon's number one love language?
I would say touch. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Landon,
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think that's.
He's
yeah.
like, nailed it.
Is there a close second? Are they all kind of the same after that?
Are they? Is there?
Maybe a little bit of acts of service.
Probably words of affirmation.
no, words of
I didn't want to. I was
affirmation.
like, I feel like I know Landon pretty well too,
Okay.
just being around him, and I would have said probably words
Okay.
Yeah.
of
That's
affirmation.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would definitely be
Yeah.
one.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, and I think that is all we. Oh yeah, we were gonna say what your anniversary is, but you already know that. But what is your what is Kelsey's birthday, and what is Landon's
January
birthday?
8, 1993.
November 8, 1992.
Nice.
Guys, I love it so
Wrong.
much.
It's,
Whoa.
shoot, I
Wait,
wondered.
Kelsey!
91 is 91.
Kelsey Schlabach!
Clearly,
I
I
always
have been
forget
able.
that.
I've
The
known
year,
her more
hey.
than she knows me.
It's
today,
November
tonight.
8, 1991.
Is it?
Wait, did she just make you a year younger?
Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
'Cause that's
Hold
great.
on. No, because I'm.
It's 91.
It
She's
is
right.
Okay,
91.
yeah.
It is 91. Yeah, okay.
I think
We're
I
born
say
in
that every
93.
time
yeah,
he's
we're
like,
93. Yeah, that's funny.
I was
Hey,
very
that's okay.
close.
That's
That
all
was
right.
bad.
And then just a sweet moment, guys. What is the best part about being married to Kelsey? One of them. Obviously, there's many.
I mean, she makes amazing food. And like I'm in the office and she'll bring me a coffee drink. Oh, mama. Yeah.
Mom.
which and that would be that's like the
Yeah,
act,
that's
but it's her.
awesome.
She's very considerate, and she
Oh, yeah.
really, really, really cares for people's needs and takes care of people so
Like
well.
the
So
boys,
that's
she
kind of
does
what that is.
amazing with taking care of them.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, there's many I could go on
yeah,
and on.
for sure. Kels, one thing about that you love about being married to Landon.
I always have my best friend with me. Yeah.
That's true. That's what happens when you
What
get
you
older.
guys make me want to be married now.
That's amazing. That's really good.
No, it is really something. It's just like at the end of the day, it's like you love your kids and all, but it's like I can't wait to be with my best friend, like just us
Wow.
two. So yeah,
It's weird when
awesome.
you go into like go somewhere and she's not there or I'm not there. Like, what do you do?
Wow.
It just
Yeah.
feels weird.
Oh, like a
Yeah.
social setting
Yeah.
or church
Well,
or
like
something.
a part of you is missing.
Yeah.
That's-
yeah.
I'm gonna go sit in
your
the corner
person.
over here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do that.
Just call
He
me over.
doesn't
I'll
do
come
that,
hold your
but-
hand, Landon. Don't
It's
worry.
like
There you
welcome.
go.
Well, it's like
Yeah, I got
welcome
you.
to our world every day.
Yeah. Welcome back to the single world.
But once you have it then and don't,
Yeah.
that's very
Yeah.
different. Like
Yeah,
I'm just
sure.
used to
Sure.
that's how it is. And so yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
spouses a lot too say that when they don't have their spouse, they're just like, well, I'm a little lost here. Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Which I think is really sweet. It just shows how connected you are as a couple, which is what I believe God designed it to be, a unit.
Yep.
So anyway, guys, thanks for doing all of that. Those are things we could go on forever and ever. It'd be
that's
fun
fun.
to
That's
just
fun.
ask questions like that and just do whole episodes on that. But
Right.
it's cool to hear Liz a little bit. So thanks for going along with that. You guys are a quality married couple and have lots of wisdom to share. And we're going to get into a bit more of that with some questions. And I'm going to throw it over to myself for the first question.
So, Jen, are
Okay.
you looking at it at all? Throw it over to me. All right, Jen, ask the question. Go for it.
Okay. So briefly, not in like crazy detail, but tell us a little bit of the story of how you guys met and got married.
do you want to do it or me?
I'm a much better storyteller. You
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah.
She's
Kels
like,
like,
well, maybe you could do it.
Landon,
And
you
Kels, you
start,
fill in
and
the
then Kels
details.
chime
Okay.
in.
When I moved to Florida, so I moved to Florida right after high school, and I was down there, and then it would have been through that process when I was living down there playing volleyball and different sports and stuff like that I would have met her the first time, initially there, and then we would have worked together at a deli for a while. So
Was
yeah,
that
down there in Sarasota.
what was that deli? Was it
Yoder's
Detweiler's?
Marketplace.
Oh, Yoder's. Okay.
It was Yoder's, which is
Classic boy
Deli
meets
then.
girl at the deli.
Yeah.
Classic.
Falls in
we
Cute.
love.
weren't there. It was before that, right?
Oh yeah, we did meet before that.
Yeah.
But that's where like
Did you guys like each other before?
She was hugely mad for me.
Oh,
Kels,
She
is
gets
that-
really
okay,
heated about
Tell
this.
that
well.
story.
well.
Okay, first time I saw him on the volleyball court, Sunnyside, and so I was
Classic
like,
place
oh, so
to
this
hang.
is like the Landon
Sunnyside,
Schlabach I've seen on
Oh.
Facebook and stuff.
Oh, so
And-
infamous.
But
okay.
then I was like, he really doesn't look like interested. He's just kind of like off in his own world.
Okay.
And so I was like, all right, whatever. And but yeah, he started coming around to youth group a little bit more. We worked together at the deli, and then fun story, he asked me out one time there at the deli, and I said, no, I'm just not really feeling it and stuff.
Okay.
And so then I left like the next day for Indiana, and I was around this big table full of like family and stuff. And in the meantime, I was texting my other friend Marilyn about like how he asked me out and stuff. And I said, I was telling her the story. And then I'd also texted him recently about something. So he was like right in that lineup. Well, I thought I was texting her and I accidentally texted him saying, I think I'm starting to fall for him.
Oh,
my
that's
and
right. I
so he
forgot about
responded
that.
with, that wasn't supposed to go to me, was it?
Ah,
So in this crowd of like family at an Amish house, it was like an Amish experience and stuff. I yelled and I was like, no! And so they were all
that
just
That's
like,
a text every guy should get.
oh,
Yes,
for sure.
For Landon, he's
So-
probably
the
like
biggest green light of his
dream
life.
come
I know. My brother was like, wow,
It
that's the
was
best
a
text
lot
ever.
of work. Like Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What a gift in the moment.
I know,
I would have
I
been
know.
absolutely mortified if I was you.
I
But in
was.
the end, looking back,
Oh
it
no,
gave
it's
him
fantastic. I think ladies should do more of that kind of thing. Put
there
it
you
out
go.
there if you're interested. I don't know. It helped me a lot because
Yeah.
I knew.
All
Well,
of a
I
sudden,
often wondered, I'm like,
yeah.
what would have happened if I wouldn't have done that?
That's true.
like
What, Landon,
that kind of that started
'Cause you
things
already
then.
I
told
would have
him no.
continued to have to work. Like it was a
Yeah.
lot of work to get her.
So would you have continued? You didn't give up after she said no the first time? You were like,
No.
oh.
Yeah, because she did say. She said, "Did you say no?"
She said she wasn't
I said
into
Yeah.
it.
you said no.
Hard
Yeah,
no.
and then I had to wait 6 months.
Well, that was okay.
I don't know.
So
she
around
was, she was difficult.
Shoot.
You know how you're
Hey.
fishing and you're
Wow,
trying to
hard
reel
to
in the
get.
fish. She
Really?
was a
She's
marlin
just-
that was
yeah, she's
way
just
out
straight
there.
wild marlin.
As she should be.
Wow.
Women need to be
It
hard.
was- yeah,
Not
We
too
need
hard
to be
to
hard
get,
to
but
get.
men need to fight for them. Men
It
should
was
be
a lot of
fighting for
fight.
women.
long fight.
So this
I
was
think.
like April. And then but soon before that, I had just told God, like, because I had like so many different crushes and stuff. And I was like, I'm so done with this. Like, this is meaningless. And so I told God, it's like, I'm done with this. This year is for you. Like, I want to focus on you.
And then I
What are you
stepped in.
laughing
And
at?
then Landon the stud.
Okay.
Anders picture.
And so, yeah, I just told him, like, my focus is you. I'm not thinking about any guys. And so then this happened. And I was like, well, I did tell God I'm not focusing on any guys.
Yeah.
So I told him this. And I was like,
And what am I
We
supposed
can-
to do?
Atlanta
You
comes
can't
in to wreck
argue
God's
that.
plan.
That's true. You really can't argue that. You have to trust
So-
God there.
yeah, we didn't date until January 1st. And even just like,
At 12 o'clock.
She gave
Yes.
him the
Well,
year.
yeah.
That's very true.
That's
I had to ask her. Yeah,
good
at
cow,
midnight,
you guys.
Right
Midnight.
at- yeah, it was.
Wow.
She
Kelsey,
was a
I'm really
stickler,
proud of you for
apparently.
keeping up, like for honoring
Yeah. Honor your
God's
commitment.
Yeah, the commitment to God, but on that.
That's right.
well, it's very important to me.
That's good.
So, yeah.
That's
Could be
amazing. Even
6
if it
months
was,
further along in marriage if we wanted
Oh,
to,
my.
but-
and how
Hey.
you probably needed those 6 months on your own.
Yeah.
Little
So then
self-growing.
you started dating January 1.
Mm-hmm.
How long did you date before you got engaged? And then how long till you got married?
It was like, we dated like 2 years.
Really? Was
I
it 2
think we
years?
got engaged right before the 2-year mark.
Okay.
And then we were
It was that
engaged.
long?
Yeah.
Really?
Then we were engaged like 10 months.
Wow.
yeah.
It's like a 3-year
And how old
deal.
were you guys when you got married?
It was that
21.
long?
Yeah.
Oh, so this started when you guys were like 18.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, wow.
actually, our first date was on my birthday,
18th birthday?
18th birthday. Oh, my word, we were young.
Are you
Wow,
sure?
you guys
Yes.
were
Well, yeah,
young.
Kels, because
Yeah.
your birthday's the 8th.
I remember that. You had a yellow
Of
dress
January.
on. I came with little flowers.
Aw.
He was late, but it was okay.
I had to get myself
You're
ready.
late for
He's
your
already-
first date.
That's
That's
an
like
all-day
the
ordeal.
biggest
Yeah, it's
no-no
true.
ever of
Yeah.
Go to
dating.
Publix to get my chicken fingers.
You are
Amazing.
something
That's
else.
so good.
Well, better late than never.
Very
Clearly, you
good.
still got the girl.
That's true.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
were you at their wedding, Derek?
Did
you know
Yeah,
that?
you did
Yeah, you were.
videography.
Yeah, I was. That's true. I
Yeah,
did video
you
y'all's
and Eugene.
wedding. Hold it.
It's so crazy because I was at their wedding too. I was friends with Kels. My family's
Oh,
from
yeah, I
Florida.
remember your wedding
My
like it was
mom's
yesterday.
like it was yesterday.
I mean, almost. I can
9
tell
years
you.
You
ago.
couldn't even remember if you were there.
I know, Kels, but now it's like flooding back.
He's like, was I there?
I
Oh,
remember
yeah, I was there
Landon holding up
yesterday.
this like cross thing, and then Pure Bride playing. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I remember a lot about it. Yeah,
right.
I remember a lot. Your reception.
I just
That was a
remember.
good
Ran
time.
through banner.
Amen.
Got to change it up.
I
Be
just
different.
I remember talking at the open mic.
Yeah, you
and I
did
was
talk.
barefoot, and I look back and it was it was so embarrassing. I
Why?
should have never stood
Should have
up
put
there.
the flip flops on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But no, I
I have something to go. Keep
okay.
going.
But no, my family's from Florida, so I grew up. I met Kelsey. When did I meet you, Kels? Probably when I was
I mean, it was
2. I mean,
2.
Probably not that
every
young.
year I
Sandbox.
went to church at Palm Grove where Kelsey went to church. So we're not related at all, but we had the same friend group there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of grew up knowing each other. And I always liked Kelsey. I always was like, Kelsey's really sweet and nice. And we would always talk at church and stuff and do things together, whatever. And then she got married with Landon and moved here to North Carolina. And then I moved here a few years ago. And it was like we had kind of always known each other. But like when I was at your wedding, I was there more. I was kind of more like a surprise I got invited kind of thing because we weren't that close of friends. And then,
well, it's one of those that like we saw each other once a year,
Yeah.
but whenever we'd see each other, like it's like we've been with each other the whole year.
Yeah.
like it
You
was
pick
that
up where
type
you
of
left
friendship.
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's so weird now talking about y'all's wedding and thinking about that time of life. Derek was there. I was there. I didn't know Derek very well at all. I don't know if I even talked to you.
Probably
Or even
not.
knew you.
Probably not.
And then now to think we're sitting here in the podcast studio, all living in North Carolina,
Crazy.
Beautiful thing.
you know,
it really is.
all
It
really good
is.
friends and know a lot about each
Yeah.
other's life. I love it so much. Anyway,
That's
I just
cool.
had to throw that out there.
Yep.
But
Very
glad you
cool.
guys got married.
Yes.
Glad you made it.
Glad
that
it
marriage.
worked out. Praise the Lord. Yep, for sure. So cool, guys. Well, so talk about the journey of God calling you first, Landon, and then you guys as a couple to leave your 9 to 5 and start your start the shipping containers and then start your Airbnb company. Just talk about how that all kind of came about and what was, how did God lead you kind of to do that?
Yeah, that's a wild story. It's a long one over a number of years because I'm not going to say that part. I have something coming. I have something coming with that.
Okay.
But anyway, so it's quite the story and the journey that God had me on. Ever since we got married, I always kind of knew I was wired a little bit differently, more the entrepreneurial route, but didn't necessarily know it. And there was a lot of in my 20s of growing and learning, and especially when I was younger, learning and growing, hearing from God, and growing and reading, learning by going to listening to webinars, going to conferences, learning from people. So I would have started and went out on my own. Obviously, this is years after, but before Bodie was born, 3 months before Bodie was born, I'll never forget it. In August, I had told her, I said, hey, if I'm ever going to do this entrepreneurial thing and get into real estate, there's no better time than now. So jump into it and just kind of went feet first. That's something that I usually tell people. You always can get analysis paralysis and think, I've got to learn something else before I get in. That's not true.
That's good.
Wow.
Jump in and do it. And you'll learn it as you go. Jump into the water, and if you got to swim, you got to swim. I mean,
right.
We didn't have income coming in 3 months from Bodie being born. I literally just talked to somebody on the phone today, and I asked him, because I know he's not wired that way. I was like, why are you still there? Like, why don't you go do your own thing? You know how to do it. Just go do it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I just got married. I'm looking to start a family. I said, so?
You're like, same, brother.
Who cares?
I mean-
I did it 3 months before
Wow.
first kid was born. So
And that probably gave you more of a drive.
yes. Oh, I pushed like crazy.
That makes
Because you had
sense.
to provide for
'Cause
your
you
family.
knew
Yeah.
you had to,
But
So-
the Airbnb thing wasn't even right away.
Yeah, well, your first thing you didn't you start getting your license for
Yeah, so I got my real estate
Real
license,
estate.
but the first thing was flipping. So we bought our first house a few days after I had left the furniture store and did a flip. I'll never forget it. Investor, big time guy out of Aiken, South Carolina. He came up and we were at the closing table and met and went to the house, which was right behind the attorney's office, and went through there and he said, I'll never forget, he looked right at me and said, son, you got a lot of work to do. That was
Wow.
not very
Oh, boy.
reassuring. He was the
Yeah.
money
You always
behind
love
it.
to hear that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I was just the hard work and
Yeah.
split the profits 50-50. But
Okay.
boy, that got me going and really hit the ground running from there. And did that in about 6 months. So did real estate, did flips, got my real estate license. Don't do anything with my real estate license, but I learned a lot in that time through the classes there again, learning. And how old was I at the time? 25, 26?
wow.
Maybe.
So,
Bodie's
well,
5.
Bodie's
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Yeah,
5 years ago.
5.5 years. I started, August will be 6 years.
Wow.
So did that and did quite a few flips. And then in 2018, I'll never forget that, around Thanksgiving 2018 is when the Airbnb business was birthed and that whole management side of things. So
And how did that come about? Like you just one night you were like, I'm going to start an Airbnb management company.
no,
Saw a
so
need and filled it.
An epiphany.
Yeah.
so no, there was in real estate. Knew I wanted to be into real estate, but in that whole journey, in that process, doing flips was never uber profitable. It's nothing like it is on HGTV.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Derek, you've been there for
Bro.
some of
Unless
those
you're
demo
Chip and Joanna
days.
I helped
gains.
you for one demo day, and I was like, I'm retiring.
I remember that,
I'm
yeah.
literally retiring from this.
It's nothing like Chip and Joanna make it look.
Chip makes it look so fun and good. It's fun for
Yeah.
about 4 swings
Yeah.
with the hammer, and then you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because in the TV show, then they pan to the next thing.
Oh.
In reality, you're still
then-
there
and then
swinging.
the
And
work
then they
stuff.
made $300,000.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
I made $20,000 on this thing.
Yeah.
This is not adding up.
Yeah, exactly.
So we flipped 10-ish homes, 12 homes. I don't know, something like that. In that process. So learned a lot through all of that, using OPM, other people's money. But then so that I knew there was something more that God was doing and teaching me and learning to do. And in that process, I was at an event in Pennsylvania with Peter Zook. He invited me to go. We were really good friends and still are. He invited me to come to their book club meeting with a lot of the brothers and then other friends that I would have known a little bit, but not super well. And then at that event, I knew about short-term rentals and was looking a little bit into it. And Dave Zook or Jonathan, I forget which one it was, said, "Hey, have you listened to this podcast that somebody was putting on?" And it was about short-term rentals. And I was like, boom, there's my answer from God. I'm going to run with that.
Wow.
And so the very next day, I bought a course for $1,000 and started learning Airbnbs in that realm, in that sphere of stuff. Again, continuing to learn. So bought the course, jumped right in. I mean, we were in Pennsylvania at my sister-in-law's place, and I started the LLC.
Wow.
Got things rolling. I started right away doing rental arbitrage, and then quickly learned I didn't like that route of it. And so management side of things came. First property in April 2019. We took that from $440 in March, and then in April when we took it on, it did $4,400.
Wow.
When we were managing it. So
Wow.
Trio Loft, downtown Greenville, South Carolina. So that was the very first property.
Wow.
Then the containers from there. I mean, the containers were in 2020.
And those are, for you guys that don't know, shipping containers that they have taken basically the shell of an old shipping container they put on railroad cars and haul around. It's not a railroad car, but it's like that square rectangular shaped thing.
Shipping container.
Yeah,
Took that
shipping containers.
and created gorgeous homes or small places, containers. Trying to think
Unique
of another
spaces.
word.
Yep.
Yeah, living
Unique
spaces to
homes.
Airbnb.
Yep. So we built one that was wildly successful, and so we built another one.
That's cool. So explain a little bit about rental arbitrage, or what did you say there? About how, explain that a little bit. Just, I believe I understand, but I want to make sure everybody does.
So
I had not a clue what that meant.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I've heard the term. I just want to make sure I
Well,
understand.
that's what it was learning in the course that I was listening to. It was all things short-term rentals, but in that it was primarily rental arbitrage. So that is taking a space. If you've got a house, if I can rent it from $1,000 from you, the landlord, I will take it, pay you monthly. I will furnish the space, and then I will list it on Airbnb and rent it on Airbnb. I'll pay you your $1,000. Anything above $1,000, I profit.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I will keep it.
That way you don't have to own the property. You're literally just renting it
You're
from
just
somebody.
controlling and managing it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that was not really the route you wanted to go. or
So
anything.
I didn't like, what I didn't like from that was I had a monthly payment no matter what.
Yeah.
That I would be liable for, that I had to pay. And what happened shortly thereafter?
Oh.
The virus.
Oh, right,
And
right.
in
of
the
course.
virus, a lot of companies and a lot of rental arbitrage companies went under in 2020.
Gotcha.
At the beginning of 2020 there, through that pandemic, because it was so hard to do anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
March 2020 hit. That would have been right in the thick of it when I was in it.
Hold it, Landon. Yeah.
So that would have been very, very stressful.
You made your decision to get out of that or to not pursue that. way
My
of going
first one I had
before
gotten in
COVID,
December,
right?
yes.
Oh.
And then
So-
we ran that for 3 or 4
Praise the
months.
Lord,
And it
you
was right
made that
before
choice.
that owner
Literally right
sold the
before
home.
March. Wow.
And so I couldn't manage
Yeah.
it anymore. So
Okay.
I moved on
Well, that's
from
kind
there
of a God
into
thing. Yeah.
into the management side of it.
Yeah. So Kelsey, with all of this, like his decision to, quit his, a lot of people view a 9-to-5 job as that's your security. It's stable.
Safety, yep.
It's safe. You know what you got to do to get what you got to get. You're basically trading your time for money, and that's what a lot of people do. And you're pregnant, right? You're about to have a baby, and your husband's like,
Oh,
"Hey,
I thought you meant now.
I'm gonna."
No,
Surprise.
I don't think that's true. Definitely not about to have a baby.
Landon found out on the
We have a
podcast.
surprise
Yeah.
for you.
Baby number 4.
Here we go. Aurora. Here she comes. Here comes Aurora.
She's a roaring in.
roaring. Yeah.
Anyway, but yes, you're about to have this first baby, and your husband's like, "I'm quitting my 9-to-5, and I'm gonna go step out, kind of,
Yeah.
and just blaze the way here with not a lot of knowledge on how this is going to turn out." Were you on board with that from the get-go and very supportive of that, or was it like kind of a process to be like, okay, what are we doing here? Is this a wise choice?
Honestly, I just trusted him. I knew like he had direction, and I just trusted him with it. Like, and there's just like a series of events too that kind of happened that it was like, this is our path. This is what we need to do. We need to jump in faith and do this. So I don't remember being like very stressed unless he remembers something different. It was kind of like,
No,
oh,
she was very supportive. She was
Wow.
amazing.
Well,
It was-
that's huge,
They're
right?
all-
If you're jumping into something like that,
Oh,
Landon.
yeah,
I mean,
you need the
you're
support
not,
of your wife.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, you're not going to run after that unless she's on board with it, right?
Correct.
so
1000%.
I thought it was, interesting timing, but at the same time, it was like, this is what we're going to do. And I don't remember it being super stressful.
And that probably a lot has to do too with the man that Landon is, and that you know him to be. If he's going to start something, he's going to see it through, even if it shifts or maybe doesn't turn out
Yeah,
exactly
sure.
what he
Pivots.
planned.
Yep.
he won't give up.
Oh
Or
no! Like I knew
like
he would
leave
make
his family
something
hanging,
happen.
that kind of
Yeah.
a thing. And so
Right.
if
Yeah.
that's the kind of person that you are with and that you know that you have, then that would make the trusting of like, hey,
Yep.
I don't know how
You
you're going
can
to do
rest.
this,
Yeah.
but I know you're going to, you got this
Yeah.
and you'll take care of us, which is it's awesome. Yeah, having that unity as a married couple, but then Landon, you creating that level of leadership and that level of like I don't want to say taking care of. There's maybe a word for that. Providing for. What I'm thinking for your family. Like that's awesome.
He does very
and shows
well.
how important that is. That you'll fight hard and work hard, not just for you and your career, but you're doing it because you're taking care of your wife and 3 kids. And I think that's really, really commendable and a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I'm just
so
trying to be
bless
a
you in that.
manager. God gives us. We're called to be stewards. I'm just trying to be a wise steward of what He's given us. So if
Absolutely.
you're faithful with little, you'll be given much. So yeah.
It's a word. That's a word. Well, that's great. Landon, talk a little bit about the role of discipline in life and consistency. I know you're a big, just talk.
This was my question. I was like, we have to ask Landon
We have
about
to.
discipline because
Yeah.
he's big on it
Yeah.
and he's figured out ways to do it well in many areas of life.
Yeah.
How you do one thing is how you do everything. So
I don't know if I agree with that, but maybe I'm wrong.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
this wasn't supposed to be a hot
It's supposed to be a hot
take,
take, but
Yeah, I'm very, very big with discipline. I'm huge with that because it's everything. Like, why would I want to be slouch in something if I? Yeah, I don't know how
yeah.
I should answer it. I'm very
No,
big
I guess
with
how,
it.
how did you get to where like discipline's hard?
Very much so.
It's very hard to do, and obviously
Consistency and,
discipline
yeah.
in general. If you can find discipline in life, it'll just flow over into all the different parts. It's not about I want to be disciplined in reading my Bible. It's learning discipline in general.
It's a
And
lifestyle.
then you
It's a
do it with
lifestyle.
every piece of your life.
Right.
But like because obviously I'm sure you're not perfect, but I see a lot of discipline in your life just with interacting with you guys a lot. I see the way that you're intentional about a lot of things. And even he does, if any of you don't know, Landon does a cold plunge every single day. And I don't think you missed a day, have you, this whole year? And it's
No.
like,
Wow.
I
Every
probably
day.
would have given up after about maybe, 2 weeks. Anyway, but
Yeah, it wouldn't have
how
lasted
did
that
you get
long.
to where like you got the habits created of discipline? And what advice would you give to somebody who
Yeah, so
is
it's
wanting
very
to learn
much
discipline?
knowing where you want to go. If you know where you want to go, then you can now route the way to get there. And I know to get where I want to go, I can't be sloppy here
Wow.
in certain things. So if I want to be here, pointing, you guys can't hear it, but if
We
I
can
want
hear it,
to
we
be
just
here
can't
and
hear it.
I'm
Hand is
down
in the
here,
air.
I
Yeah.
know to get there, I've got to start down on the ground level. And I have to be very disciplined with that. So I am a stickler with that. Do I fall and fail on that? Absolutely. I'm not perfect, but she can tell you I'm a stickler for discipline, and I don't have a lot for people that aren't as much.
Yeah.
I'd love to help. I mean, if they want to help,
Yeah.
I'll gladly help them.
Yeah,
Ask
yeah,
me.
sure.
But yeah, I try to do that. Not saying that it's right or perfect, but I know if I want to get here, I've got to be foundational and I've got to do
Yeah.
these different things. So
that's good.
And at the end of the day, it is everyone's choice. It's a matter of discipline is not as hard as we make it in the sense of it's a matter of choosing and following through on what you're choosing to do.
And changing your mindset. He's big with that too.
very big with
Tied
mindset.
with
Big
it.
mindset guy. Yeah, that's good. Well, I think what you said, like motivation is so temporary. Like I heard Darren Hardy talk about why power. Like it's kind of like you said, like you have to know why you're doing something. Like you have to have focus and direction.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you're just looking for motivation, like it's not going to work. So I think what you said is a big key. Finding out what you want to do, where you want to go, and why you want to do it, and then you'll do it.
Yep.
So
That'll motivate you.
okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can tell you. I mean, I'm pretty motivated in it for the most part.
Absolutely.
Discipline, yeah.
Yeah, and then with discipline too, discipline and what you're talking about too with how you followed your dreams and your goals of you're going to do this and you just stepped out and kind of the unknown, but you succeeded. And sometimes I look at that and like some people succeed and some people fail, and it's for a plethora of reasons. But if you don't give yourself an out mentally, a lot of times that's what it is I've noticed for myself in discipline and in also if like, oh, there's something I want to pursue. I'm a little bit scared that what if I can't do it or what if it doesn't work out? So in my mind, I always am like, well, I always give myself an out. So like if this doesn't happen, if this doesn't work out, okay, I'll just quit. I won't do that or I won't finish it. Or if I set a discipline, but I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like doing it. I already know that I'm not mentally strong enough that I'm like, I just won't do it. I've given myself almost pre-decided without really knowing. I've given myself an out.
Yeah.
And then I end up not doing many of the things that I want to do and that I could do. And with what you're sharing in your story and how you got to where you are, it's like you quit this, you started this, you took this class, you decided you're going to do Airbnb, you got to spend $1,000 on this course, and you went for it. It's almost like, and maybe you didn't feel this all the time, but like you didn't give yourself a choice to not do it. You're just like, this is what I'm going to do. You don't get an out.
And then, a part of it too is what God shares. Like for me, I'm big with what he speaks. If he speaks something, I'm going to stand on that promise. Same with anything that's in the Bible. If it's a promise and it's in the Bible, I stand on it. Now that's very different than like, I'm going to do a cold plunge every day for 4 minutes. Yeah. I do that, but not necessarily because God told me to. That's more of a discipline thing. But like I knew eventually that we are going to be financially free. We're going to do things. I remember years ago when I was little, I don't even know if she knows it. I wrote it on a piece of paper. Landon and Kelsey are going to be financially free by the time I turn 30. Wrote it on a piece of paper, put it in my nightstand, and it's been there ever since.
Wow.
I was 24, 23. I don't know, didn't know what I'm doing. But God spoke it, stand on it, and I'm going to believe it. So if he speaks something, that is more bigger business, day-to-day things as compared to discipline. But how you do one thing is how you do everything.
There it is.
There's
Write
some
it down.
truth to it.
Take it to the bank.
Yeah, and actually, Landon, I quoted you on this podcast way back when.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I told the story of the shopping cart that was in the Food Line parking lot that I was tempted to just leave out because there was another one already there. And I remembered how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I was like, if I feel like I can let this go to where someone else is going to have to come after me, you know, I'm not doing this excellently. I'm not taking care of my business, you know? And I was
That's
like,
annoying though at times to do that. Like I just did it at Lowe's the other day. I had to run it all the way up to Lowe's, and I did it.
Good job.
Yeah.
Could have left it at the curb. Always got to pick up a quarter if you see a quarter or any money on the ground.
There you go.
The worst is when I'm on a run though.
Yeah. Oh.
If I'm running, I can't just leave trash that I run by.
Oh wow, Landon.
I don't even know if anybody knows you. That's probably a secret.
That's good.
I do not think about that.
Oh,
I know.
I would. I'm with you.
Literally, this has happened. Like I'm running and I'm running on the side of the road, and I'll see like a bag of chips that somebody just littered and left on the ground.
I probably threw it there.
Most likely.
Probably Jen.
Like I'll run by
it,
and I'm like 100 yards down, and my conscience is going nuts.
What?
So I've got to turn around, run back,
Wow.
pick
But
it
is
up.
it something God spoke to you though?
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
So that's not
That's
saying
all
for
counts.
everyone. That's
Correct.
like his
That's not-
personal
yeah.
conviction.
Right, but that is a good thing for society. If more people would do that, take responsibility, and be the change they want to see, world would look
Sure,
completely different.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
weird. One of the weird, not weird. It's
No,
amazing.
that's
It's one of the
cool,
things
man.
God put in me.
Yeah. That's good. Amen.
Wow. Well, that's cool, guys. There's so much more, obviously, you guys could share and the journey you've been on with this. But at least that gives a little bit of an idea. I think some good things for people to take away from that. But another question for you guys. What would be being married? And obviously you've been through so much in your marriage and just all you've done with your career. But what do you think is some advice or wisdom that has benefited your marriage the most that you've learned in the last 9 years?
You want me to go? I can go.
Yes.
So it is, I would say, one of the biggest things, and it goes in all facets of life, business, everything, friendships, whatever, but especially in marriage, and I'm not the greatest in it, and that's communication. I'm very, very big with that. Any of my partnerships that I've got in business, I'm very much with communication. You have to communicate. You've got to talk. I would definitely say that. That was one of the things that was a pet peeve of mine at the beginning of our marriage was she would not share and talk, and then it would bubble up, and then we'd have a huge outburst. And so I couldn't stand that, and so I nipped that quickly. I was like, all right, let's talk. We've got to communicate.
Yeah.
Sure.
But we realized
Share
it was a
ahead of time.
two-way street, though. I needed to know that you wanted to hear me. We had to work on that.
That's fair.
Yep.
Because
I'm not very
it's-
good at listening all the time.
I got you.
So, or even just like,
Pursuing, maybe.
or even just reacting. Like if I would share something like that happened, it's instead of like shutting down or anything, like we individually have to work on that. It's like you can't shut down. You have to like hear them out and realize, you know what, maybe I was in the wrong, and you go from there. Like, it's an individual thing too that you have to work on. You know what? One thing I wish, this just came to mind. It's helped a lot in marriage too. But so Door of Hope does a marriage conference, and one thing that they mentioned one time is, I want like every dating couple to hear this. Every like, even if you're engaged, it's like, if you would focus on your individual self before you get married, how you are with God, your relationship with God. If you are totally rooted in him, you find everything about you that you are complete in him, not your spouse, you will have an amazing marriage. Because if you walk into marriage like relying completely on them to fulfill this and this and this, and if they let you down, you just fall.
They're going to let you down.
Well, yeah. And so, and like his parents really, they have stories about that, how they started that off in the beginning. Like they were confident in who they were in God to not need this from their spouse. And that's something I've chewed on. And like a lot of times if something came up that was like, man, I wish he would have done this different or talked to me differently. It's like, why is that bugging me? Like what is missing between me and God that I'm not finding this from him first and relying on my husband? Like that's not how it should be. So yeah, that's been a nugget of truth for me.
That's
That'll
huge.
preach.
I mean, as far as this question goes, that's something that'll benefit. It's like thing that benefits your marriage the most is putting your marriage second, basically, because you're putting your your marriage relationship second to God.
Right.
Yep. Because it fixes so many issues.
Yeah. Oh, man. I have to start going home and getting my house in order. I got to become marriage material.
You're already marriage material. Oh
no, but that is so good. There's so many people that have marriage issues because they're taking out their own issues, insecurities, whatever they're dealing with on their spouse and expecting their spouse to fix it. And they can't do that. It's unrealistic to ask them to do that. And so if that could be taken care of, that's why sometimes I wonder how non-believers marriages even work.
That's very true.
A lot of them.
Know.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of them don't, but some do. I don't know. I guess somehow it can sometimes work, but anyway, so thanks both for sharing that. And then also kind of piggybacking off of just you're obviously married, but you also have kids. So what is some wisdom you've learned in parenting? And throwing kids into the mix probably has totally changed things up from just being you and him. And so what is some wisdom or advice or things you've learned on this parenting journey?
A lot.
Good answer. That helps.
There's just so much.
So
it's
much
like,
I can't even talk about it.
Boy, kids will rock and change your world in a hurry.
I bet.
They're tough,
but
they're
it's
amazing.
such a sanctifying process, I've learned. Like the things you fail at so much in raising them and like shaping their hearts, it's like it's actually shaping your heart. Like in how you respond to things, because you teach them how to respond to life situations, and it really shows how you actually respond. And it's like, am I teaching them to respond in anger or being offended? It's like, how am I teaching them?
It's kind of a mirror of yourself almost, probably.
And then it's just like, wow, I need to be better at this. Like, I need to change this in me. So I just told people it's such a sanctifying process. So, yeah.
Kids will bring things out in you.
They sure do. And sometimes it's really good.
Yeah.
It makes you change.
Yeah. But even for you guys, like you have to learn how to, if you have different ways that you think about parenting or a situation that comes up and you would address it like this and you're like, well,
have to be on
I
the
would
same
do
page.
this. You guys have to like very much communicate and even figure out, hey, how do we want to come about this? And when you have disagreements on how you want to go about a certain way of parenting, you just have to learn, I guess, to compromise or hear each other out.
You don't talk about it while the kids are there.
Yeah.
She's really good. She does an outstanding job with the kids. She had read a book that was very
Your mom actually gave it to me.
Which one was
really?
it, Kels?
To Train Up a Child.
Oh, okay, yeah.
By something and Debbie Pearl.
You already read it?
Yeah, Derek's like, yeah, I read it.
Fluent in
Well, no, yeah, cover to cover. Name a page in a paragraph. I'll
You
tell you.
memorized
ready
it.
to go.
No, I think there is some things in there that Mom didn't agree with, but I think there was a lot in there that she did agree
Yeah.
with. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's learned a lot from that. That's been amazing. And then
Okay.
I haven't read it personally, but she shares it with me, and then I
There
can
you go.
learn and know
Confer.
what to do. So,
Was there anything else that you had thought about, Landon, or anything with the parenting?
not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not anything.
Yeah, I like what you said though about not doing some of those things like disagreements and stuff in front of the kids.
Not in front of them.
That's something that my parents did pretty good at. I would see, arguments here and there, but I think if kids can, obviously there's going to be disagreements and things you have to
Right.
work through. But if kids see you guys pretty much always as unified, I mean, the stability that brings to them, and even just the fact that they'll be like, well, hey, I can't go to dad and get something different than mom because
Yep.
they're way
Yeah.
too on. They're a unit. They're on the same
they're
page.
unit,
Yeah.
You can't swindle your parents. Yeah.
That's
Right.
good. And then what you said,
We used to
Kels,
try that.
about you did.
Oh, I mean,
who was the
yeah.
more lenient parent for you,
Oh,
Derek?
boy.
Dave or Ruth Ann? Call them
Probably
out.
Ruth Ann.
Really?
I'm gonna probably go with Ruth Ann.
Really?
Maybe not lenient, but like I think you could get something quicker from Ruth Ann than you could
Aw.
That was
Dave.
opposite for
Dave
me.
walked. I mean, they were both amazing, but I
Yeah.
think if you would, or it's either you try one or go the other. I think you'd usually start with mom and then go to dad, something like that. So they're both amazing.
He's trying not to throw them under the bus by buttering up
Because
them
I'm
up.
not, because I needed both. I love my mom
And there's
and my
nothing
dad.
wrong with being lenient in certain ways.
Right,
Like my dad
right,
would let me have
right.
slumber parties way more than mom. Like
Oh,
I'd
wow.
ask him if I want to go to a friend's house.
Glenn, the old softie.
He'd just be like, "Yeah, have fun."
Rachel's
Mom's like, "We
"They
have
can't just
chores
have fun."
tomorrow." She was awesome too.
I just had a
great.
sleepover
I
with
love
the
both
boys
of
the
them.
other night.
Oh, there you
It
go.
was good down in Florida.
Let's go, man.
Slept in their bed with them and
Aw.
watched. What did we watch? Dude Perfect, I think.
Dude, perfect.
But
Fell
wait,
asleep.
you
That's
said
great,
about kids,
guys.
like you kind of brings things out, and they start to mimic like the things that you do, right?
Absolutely.
I'm not a parent, but I have a niece who I'm very close to, and she's 4. And when I was home last week, her and I wanted to go swim at our pond. I was all hyped about this. When we went to go, I looked down, and there was a whole slew of people at the pond that had come to swim, like neighbors and stuff, which is fine. They're allowed to. But in the moment, I was like, really? Like, I wanted to go by myself to our pond with my nieces. So I mentioned that. I said, I just was like, I don't really, I was like, oh, bummer. Like, look who's down there now, whatever. And so right away she was like, yeah, bummer. I don't want them to be there. And that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then she was like, it's okay. We can have a beach party in the house. You know, she was being all sweet.
Wow.
We went down to swim with them. She goes up to one of the other kids and she was like, we wish you guys would leave.
Oh, she's like, my Aunt Jen wishes you guys weren't here.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, bummer.
That's so
And then yesterday, my mom told me, she said, hey, Jen, she's like, we
Just
really
so
are
you know.
influences because they were going to swim again. I was gone. And Awen saw people down there and she said, she's like, I wish we could be by ourselves down there. And all that to say that I made these comments about kind of like not wishing they weren't there.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to be like Jen. And if that's my worldview now is people, we don't want people in our spaces. Like,
Wow.
and so I have to work with her to train her out of that now, you know? But it is so true that
you
kids
teach them everything.
We create
Wow.
worldviews in them and
Yeah.
what they believe. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Very good. Thanks for
Okay,
that advice,
yeah.
you guys. I really appreciate it. So, guys, what is a huge dream? Like, come on, Landon. I know you're a big dreamer. What's a huge dream you guys have as a couple?
She wants to answer that.
Oh, okay. Go for
Wait,
it.
we were talking about this recently. Like, so our dreams would kind of be along the same line, but not necessarily like. So like mine would be to build my dream house one day on my dream land. It's gonna have like mountain views.
With mountain views.
Oh, you're big on the views, Kel.
Yes.
Nice.
That are absolutely
Well,
worthless.
I'll get there.
What was
And-
that?
Goats.
The goats.
So you have the mountains, vineyard, big
Oh,
pool.
come on.
Oh,
There's a
nice.
lot going on.
Big pool. Okay.
And so right next to that place would be like a guest house, a really nice guest house that is specifically for ministry people or anyone who's had a hard life that needs to get away. Like it's its own private little destination, and it would be for free. Like
Aw,
I
that's awesome.
love doing that. Like they come have their own space. I'll bring them pastries and
Wow.
like certain treats and
Where do
stuff.
I sign up?
So yeah, you can come.
Let's go.
That sounds amazing.
So yeah, I want that little oasis one day for people. And then also to have a little farmette, and it kind of designed for youth that need a place to work, learn some work ethic, how to get along with other people and receive instruction well, just kind of a learning experience. Yeah, I would love to provide that for someone. I don't know a thing about farming, so I would hire someone to teach them.
Okay, that's cool.
But it's more just because I heard a mom say one time, it was during the summertime in between school, and like they just needed their kids to do something. They needed them to be under a good influence, a good place to be, and just to provide that place, and they can go swimming afterwards and just provide a good just atmosphere for a whole bunch of young teens in that season of life.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Okay.
So that's one of my big dreams.
I love that.
So yeah.
It's amazing.
I need to be able to fund all of that.
So Landon's dream is to make enough money to fund Kelsey's dream.
Make a ton of money be able to fund that and all
So
the other
I would
stuff.
want legacy properties. I'm big with legacy properties.
Okay.
Having properties that you own that you're proud of owning that are really
Sweet.
cool. Similar
Sweet.
to the containers, but
Yep.
other bigger properties. So it would be to have legacy properties that I can hand down
Okay.
that are nice big homes wherever it is in different places. Montana, Washington, Florida,
Nice.
mountains, whatever.
Yeah.
Just really cool properties that you're super proud of owning that you can short-term rental, and then we can go and visit with the family, go stay there for a week, work on different things that
Yeah.
need worked on,
Yeah.
and then rent it out from there to be able to fund said farmette.
Yeah. Said farmette.
Amazing. If you ever need anybody to go test out your new properties and stay a week
That's
to
right.
work out the kinks,
There you go.
hit me up.
There you go.
Wow, that sounded so weird.
Yeah. Hit me up. Wow.
That was
Nice.
the way I said
Yeah,
it.
Jen, that
Sounded
was
like a man.
kind of suggestive there. It's a little sussy baka there, Jen. A little sussy baka.
I'm sorry.
know.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
All right,
Cool.
guys. You know
All
what time
right.
it is?
Y'all ready to argue?
Oh dear.
Oh, we're arguing?
Do you know what?
This
you
is
know
one
what
of our
segment it is?
favorite segments.
No.
Hot
Surprise.
Hot take time.
Hot takes.
Let's go.
All right.
So you guys know what hot takes are. Controversial, usually ideas or opinions that people have differing views
Yep.
on. So we love to argue. In love. Do you guys have any hot takes? Landon said he's not a controversial guy, but Kelsey said she has something
So I have a
that
lot.
Landon would call it. Or
Oh,
that
wait.
would be controversial for Landon.
Okay.
Didn't you, Kels?
I mean, it's kind of a like he couldn't like think of anything, but I was like, well, you have this.
Okay.
So some
Kick it
people
off.
do
Go
it.
for it.
Well, so you talk about it.
Do you
It's
know
your
what it is? Do you know what it is?
What, my
Give him a
blanket?
cue.
Blankie.
Oh,
It's not a blankie.
She whispers.
Landon,
Yeah.
do you have a blankie?
Whisper it right in
it's
the
okay
mouth.
if you
yeah.
have a
Do tell
blankie.
about the blankie that I also know very much about that blankie.
So it's a blanket.
Okay.
It's not a blanket.
Not,
Not
a
even
blankie.
soft.
We're
I am
four.
not. I am not sold to
Or
any
cute.
one blanket. Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Oh, okay. It's not the specific
That's
blanket.
false.
No,
It's
it
any-
is not like Jen. Jen
Oh.
has to have this one little like.
My sister used to have one of
Feel
those
it?
too.
No.
Had the, like,
Yeah,
the lace
It
on
can
it.
be
That's
any
the
What's
kind
blanket.
that blanket? And I clean for Kelsey sometimes just to wonder why I'm in their bedroom.
Wow. Okay.
wow.
Wow.
I didn't want to give no context when I talked about why I see Landon.
So
I mean,
much of our
Jen, I don't
room.
think anybody was saying anything wrong until you said, if you wonder why I'm in their bedroom. But hey, you know what?
Oh,
you do you.
man.
You do you.
Anyway, but I see the same
You
one.
can
It's-
clearly tell she's over a lot. Like she does.
Yeah.
Does a lot of different. Her and Kels are great friends.
Clearly.
anyway, but you have that blanket.
Yeah.
That's always the same one.
You can get me another one.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
if
that's
it's
the one you're attached
Seriously,
to.
if I would have a blankie, it would be a soft baby one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is nothing
But
that
it would
great. So
switch
I
out
just need
regularly.
something
Yeah.
like pillows are too thick. They're not. They don't work.
Okay.
Kelsey definitely won't work. Like not that she's too thick. That was rough. But when I go to bed, like I want her on the
well,
other
you're
side
not
of the
sleeping in
bed.
your bed at all tonight. So
Like the other
your
side of
blankie
the
to the
bed.
outside.
It's just I need something that I
that's
can.
funny.
It's like I don't know. It's I hug
Snuggly.
it, hold it, snug it.
Cuddly.
I don't know.
Snug
it's like
it?
right there.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It just
Right. Okay.
braces beautifully.
Braces.
But yeah, I don't know. I just always have to have that. If I don't have anything, my arms are just weird feeling.
Well,
I feel like I'm in a coffin.
you'd get a kick of how I lay. I literally lay there
no.
like a dead person, like limp.
No, I think about
And
that. I
with my
can't.
arms at my sides. I'm like, if I was dead, you couldn't tell a difference.
You could just put you right in the casket.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
See,
lay-
like
Mine.
I've thought about
I really
that.
don't even care.
When I was younger, I'm like, well, I can't do that because it's like that's how I'm gonna be in my coffin. Like,
Seriously.
no.
Well,
I
I
don't know.
like-
I just don't. Yeah.
I think
do
if
you
you
think
fold your
about
hands, that's almost worse. I just have them by
No,
my
that
side.
looks
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, I know.
No, I don't know. I just always have that blanket that
Okay.
well, I fully support
Holding.
blankies for adults.
I don't.
Yep.
I get a lot of crap for it, and I could care less. 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't
There you go,
care
Landon. You
what
do
people
you,
Landon
bro.
think
also
that, but
sleeps
do.
with a beauty
have
icon.
That is
picture.
new.
Wait, is
That
that
is
for
new.
beauty or is that for practicality?
Practicality,
Okay,
without a
good.
doubt.
You can't really call it a
First
beauty
time
thing.
It's
someone
silk.
gave me one. It
Yeah.
was at when I went on an airplane.
Okay.
When one of the
Oh,
boys
yeah.
was sick, I had to fly overseas.
Yeah.
Or overseas.
I
Fly
would say
from
overseas.
fly from Las Vegas home. And
Basically
it was a
another country.
disaster. It was just rough, and that helped me sleep the
Yeah,
whole flight
it blacks
home. It
out
was
light.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. There you
And
go.
I don't like bright lights. I don't like lights in my bedroom. I'm very
Yeah.
strict with sleeping.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at times, if she has to have a flashlight on when the
Oh.
baby's little,
Oh,
it
you
drives me
just-
nuts. So I just slip the eye patch
There you
on,
go.
and you're good to go.
Hey,
I don't wear that
seems
near
like a
every night.
win-win.
though.
That seems like a
Something.
win-win.
Yeah.
Kels,
I'm not
do you have a
mad.
hot take?
So I've thought this for a very long time. Tacos are not that great.
Oh, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Derek?
Kelsey.
I am so sorry,
Kelsey. You're
but-
fired.
Okay, I think everyone
Landon,
just
talk to
jumped
your
on
woman.
this train
I
because
think
everyone
tacos-
likes tacos.
Because
Yeah,
they're
'cause they're
delicious.
good.
Let me go down the list. They're not enough food, which is very important.
So you eat more.
they are
Expensive.
I
they're
don't-
expensive.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
you're
can't
right.
get. You
You're
can't break
right.
the
I-
bank.
$20
I
for
can
like
afford
two.
two.
I don't disagree with you on that. But Okay, keep going.
They're messy.
Which
They're
is
very messy.
still fine.
So not enough food, messy, overpriced.
Okay.
They taste good. I'm not saying they don't taste good,
Okay.
but that's like an appetizer before my food.
Okay.
Like that,
I see
it's
what
just
you're
a
saying.
little
Yeah.
portion.
She loves food.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
So the way that they're presented is just the problem. It's like if they were cheap,
Cheaper if you're going to give me
cheaper
only
and
two.
less messy.
and used more of an appetizer style
Yes.
rather than like the main course for
Yes.
two. Yeah. I do
I
wish
mean,
tacos.
It'd be a
Burritos,
fantastic
though.
Some
appetizer.
fair points.
Don't talk to me about burritos.
Ooh.
I think they're good.
I know.
Burritos.
It's
They give
true.
you a lot more. But I agree.
There's a lot more meat in it.
I don't
Yeah,
agree with you
there
that
is.
tacos are not good, but I do agree with
Like
the
they
whole
can be
concept of them.
fantastic. You can make them great, like all the flavors, but it's
Yeah.
just not enough food.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
needs
Okay.
7 of them to
For
fulfill her
even
belly.
I
a little bit.
appreciate it.
Yep.
That's fair. I don't disagree with that. But to say they're not good because of those reasons,
I didn't say they're not good.
Said they're not
okay,
that great.
all right,
They're
okay.
just not
All
what they're
right, all right.
hyped up to be.
Overhyped, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
When do we talk about bidets? Because that's a
Oh.
hot take. They are fantastic.
All right, Landon,
we
give,
have to
give
talk
your
about
1 minute pitch for a
Okay,
bidet.
let's do that. That'll be my hot take.
Okay.
Is you give a 1 minute, I give a 1 minute.
Okay.
And
What, do I,
Let the
what do I
people-
need to give?
Just
Okay,
give
you're-
the benefits. Give like what's so good about them.
Sell it in 1 minute.
you're selling
sa-
a bidet. Yeah.
Sell me a bidet, Landon.
I don't
A
need to
bidet.
sell it. I'll just gift you one. I've gifted many of them
Oh.
out, and that makes them believers. I don't have to sell it by talking to you. You have to use it
Wow.
and try it.
Okay.
No, but why?
I
is
have
it good?
literally gifted them to people.
Yeah.
They come back at me and they're, oh my word, Landon, that is amazing.
Life-changing.
Yeah, like why have I not
Well,
known about that in my
okay.
37
What are the
years of
benefits of it?
existence?
Talk a little bit about the benefits of it.
Less trees.
Okay.
Not using
Saving the
near as
planet?
much toilet paper. Yeah,
With you there.
saving the planet.
Okay.
We're going to heaven anyway.
But we'll have more oxygen. Oxygen.
We're
comes
saving
from
the
trees.
planet
Yep.
a lot cleaner.
Okay.
A lot cleaner.
Leaves you cleaner.
Yeah. Do you ever try
False.
taking a dry paper towel and cleaning your house?
Yeah.
All
like
right, now
cleaning
take a pressure
cleaning
washer
like a
to
dirty
it.
windshield.
Whenever it's
Way better. Careful with your
Whoa.
choice of words, Jennifer.
All
All
right.
right, your minute is close to.
I
Okay.
mean, I don't need to sell it by talking. I just sell it by
Yeah, but
gifting.
you're
and
gonna
then-
gift every
Well,
single
so
one of
you
our
can't
listeners
gift
with a
everybody,
bidet.
But like, I think you listed some good
Oh,
points.
it's amazing. Like it is.
Okay.
It's a time saver.
Okay.
It
And for people of you that don't
revolutionizes
know
it.
what a bidet is, some people are like, "What the
Oh
hell are
yeah.
you talking about?"
So
what is it?
$35 attachment. My wife got me one for Father's Day. That's
Kels,
where it
you
first,
started this
It was
madness.
amazing. It was
Oh,
all
wow.
her fault.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
It was all her
such a
fault.
supportive wife. She's
Yeah, yeah.
amazing.
That's great.
So it's just an attachment that goes onto your toilet that is underneath the toilet seat is what I have. It's a $35 attachment and it connects to your water.
Yep.
And then there's just a little valve or thing
Just-
that you turn on and
and it shoots water up into
sure does.
the area,
Just
Cleans you up.
Cleans you good.
it's outstanding.
and then you just have to dry on your own.
See, that's my thing.
Well,
you just use a little bit of paper towel.
So you're
paper towel,
So
not
you're
toilet
using
paper.
Toilet paper.
You're using toilet
Sorry,
paper,
not paper towel.
Okay.
and so
Toilet
the
paper.
bidet does not take the place of toilet paper.
How many
No, it
rolls
does
of
not.
toilet paper do you use?
I was gonna say, Jen, you use. I mean,
Not many.
I think general people use a lot.
All you
more,
need is just two little
like, just for a
triangles.
just for a quick dab and you're
yeah, just a dry.
quick dab. and you're
I
done.
am not that bougie that I have one that dries,
That dries.
and everything.
Yeah.
They make those.
The one I used
think
had an
$5
air
$5
dryer, and
attachment.
it about threw me out the ceiling. I was like,
You mean the-
that thing shot me.
I
in the
mean, when we
halfway up
build
the
a
air.
house, it'll be legendary. We're
Yeah,
gonna
separate
build.
bathroom.
We're
I'm
gonna
just
have one for
saying.
sure.
Anyway, but no, I'll just say real quick, the
Halfway up in the
bidets,
air, huh?
It's a
bidets,
bidet.
bidet.
It's not a bidet.
I don't believe they can clean. They don't clean you well enough.
No.
It's shooting up a little bit of water. It's
That
not
is-
getting. It
false.
doesn't get
I
in the
feel like-
crevices.
I feel.
It doesn't.
I feel
you
like
have
that.
to have a clean swipe, and I just
have
don't
you tried
believe it.
them, Jen? Have you tried
yes.
them? So you did try it.
And I tried the one that was actually better with the blow dryer, and afterwards I was just like, I need
It
I
cleans
would argue
everything there is to
100%
clean.
that it doesn't clean you. I feel like it cleans you way better.
It's way different.
I feel like it is.
I disagree.
Okay, have you ever gone and you
TP
get
for life. TP
if you get
gang.
dirty and you've got dirt on your arm?
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you ever taken a paper towel that's dry and just wipe it off?
Yeah, but
Does
if
that
it's-
clean
if
it?
it's- Okay, if it's
No,
let's say
there's
it's
always
damp,
residue.
It's mud. Let's say it's mud and
Yeah.
it's dry. If you have one thing that's dry and one thing that's damp, then that
No, it's
No,
smears
it
the mud.
smears.
Smears the mud, Jen.
Not if you have enough paper towel. You gotta
No.
go. You
No.
don't go
No.
like this. You wipe it
Jen,
off.
no.
As long as there's a little bit of dampness.
I think you either love this or hate it. It's one of those
You-
things.
Kelsey's like, my
I wish
observation
I
in
mean,
this
is
Is there a
conversation-
difference between men and women in this too?
No, can
I
we
think
get
there
a?
is.
Can we
Yeah,
get?
because women
oh,
are more
man.
cleanly than men.
I'm a male. She's a
yeah.
female. You can't. But like comparison, it's not even close. Like
I think I
way
would agree with
cleaner.
you, Landon. I feel like it has to be way cleaner.
I'm very passionate.
We're gonna
about
put
this.
take
Like,
a poll about that.
We will. I think the bad part is not a lot of people have tried it,
Yeah,
so
see, they have
they
to
kind
try
of
it.
because
judge
most
it in their
people
mind.
like value cleanliness. And
No, they think they're expensive and they don't think they can afford it.
Derek, we
true.
should
It's
do a
true.
giveaway for a bidet.
There you
my
go. That's
stars.
fantastic.
Honestly,
people
Landon, do you
enter.
want to sponsor a giveaway
Sure,
for a bidet?
I will
All right.
absolutely do it.
All right, we're doing a
Yes.
giveaway with a bidet.
If you
sponsored
want
by
to
Landon
put
Schlabach.
5 of those on there, you can. I'm not joking.
You're
I've
such a
probably,
believer.
I
love
have
it.
probably
And then
gifted
we'll
a
let
good
our listeners
15 to
decide.
20
Are
of
you
them.
serious, Landon?
Almost everyone
I
has
can tell
come
you're
back.
very passionate.
Wow, that's amazing.
You had to wrap them. That's right.
Oh, she
Jen
did once
wrapped
for the
them?
book
Yeah,
club. Yeah.
I was working for them one day, and my job was
That's funny.
wrapping
Bidets.
14 bidets. My worst nightmare. I was encouraging
Gifting
this.
goodness. They're just gifting goodness. The
Hey,
gift that
go
keeps on
talk to the
giving.
book club guys. They'll tell you a lot of them are hooked.
I'm gonna try
That's
to be.
fair.
I'm gonna try to be open, but anyway.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
it's very good.
Wow, that got me fired up.
That's good. That was some good takes.
That's a
I
hot
like
take.
It. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, we are coming down the home stretch of
Yeah.
the pod.
All right.
We got one more question for you.
We got 3 or yeah.
Okay. Well,
All
this
right.
one's you, Derek.
Here we go. What has been a key or staple in your spiritual walk with the Lord that has helped you grow the most?
We really
Just-
swap you from hot
I
takes
know.
to this.
Bidets.
Gotta bring it back.
Just individually, you're saying?
Sure. Or that. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Quiet time and listening. We live in a very busy world. Many of my best, not my, but the Lord has downloaded many of the best business ideas and ideas that have come up just in general come from quiet time and listening.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Good word.
For me, I would say, which I think this answers the question. One thing that the Lord has given me is just kind of visions of when He talks to me. He gives me word pictures. And whenever I receive that, it brings me so close to Him and it makes me want to see more of that. And yeah, I think that's made me grow. And just when He speaks like that, I try to grab onto it and have Him take me to the next level with it. I don't know. There's a lot to it, but yeah, I would probably say that.
Wow. Both very valuable.
Amen. Thank you, guys.
Especially being quiet. That's
Yeah,
hard.
absolutely. I know.
It's very hard to do.
I think it's so true, and I think that's even one of the tactics of the enemy is just keep them busy, keep them always taking in something versus just listening to the Lord. So
It's hard to be quiet anymore
It
in
is.
this world.
it is.
Yeah.
but
And it's
so
in those
valuable.
moments that you're going to be able to hear from Him and have those visions and those
Yep.
downloads. It's
Yep.
like He can't talk to us if we are completely crowding our mind and with everything.
Hashtag
else.
let's get quiet. We're gonna start that hashtag.
For the, as we're on a talking podcast.
You're
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Should we do an episode of no talking?
Maybe we should.
Would that be fun? An hour of silence.
Ugh. Yeah, you're right. Listen to our podcast for silence.
That's horrible. No, and you can't
You
stop.
just-
You can't do anything but be here till the timer
Say
goes
I'm listening
off.
to an episode. I can't do anything.
You wouldn't have anybody. You'd
No.
get so many messages. Hey, it didn't work this
Yeah.
time.
Well, but no. Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, we'd
You're right.
preface it.
Okay.
You would need a lot in the captions.
It's true. All right. Landon or Kelsey, give a song and a book or multiple books, Landon, for that people should read.
Like to give like a recommendation
Yeah.
of something people should check out.
What you got?
'Cause you're a big book guy.
Big book guy. Love
book guy.
learning.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big King Solomon fan.
Okay.
Oh,
So
like of the Bible?
yeah, so Proverbs, and
Okay.
Ecclesiastes.
Yep.
Big fan of those books.
Mhm.
Just because I love King Solomon and a lot of the different wisdom that he shared.
Yeah.
Who Not How.
Who
One of my
Not-
favorite books.
I don't think I've read that one. Okay.
Who Not How. That's
I can look it up.
Dan Sullivan.
Dan Sullivan.
Yeah.
Nice.
So big fan of that. I love that one. Man, there's so many books. I mean, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Everybody knows
Yeah,
that. So
I
I'm not going to
started
give the
reading that.
generic that. Did you?
Good
Didn't
job, Dan.
have the discipline to
finish
finish
it.
it. Sounds about
There we
right.
go.
I need to read the book again.
Read the first 7 pages.
Yeah.
I love gifting, so giftology. We just read that.
Nice. I
you
have
read
that like
that?
on my list to read, but I haven't read it. Giftology. Okay.
So, I mean, that's a very short, simple, easy read. That is very, very good. We so many times think about gifting down to people, down and like, hey, this person doesn't have money, I'm going to give them money. Well, whatever happened to gifting up? Kings give kings gifts. So why do we
Wow.
not gift up? If we want access to something, a person or whatever, gift up.
Wow.
So giving them, hey, if I want to talk to XYZ person, I'm going to, like, that's actually something, remind me that I need to talk to you about that tonight, with somebody that we'd love to talk to and have access to.
You could talk about it now.
Well,
I'm kidding. It's a private conversation.
yeah, no, I want to make
Deal
that
with
happen.
the wife
No, it's somebody
first.
that I
No.
want to talk to for
Yeah.
somebody else. So I want to make
Okay.
that reunion happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Giftology, great book.
Miracle Morning. You would say that.
Ooh, Miracle Morning was
Okay.
really good. That's
Gotcha.
really good for discipline.
Ah.
Very
Good book, right,
good.
Jen?
Do I have it?
Yes.
Oh, I own it.
Oh, my
yes.
Jen's like,
Did
I
Heather
own
give it to me?
Yes.
Oh my.
I'm gonna start reading that one. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, do it, Jen.
That's a
It's on my
great
list.
one.
Is that one you've read, Kels?
Oh, no.
Okay.
For me to read a book, oof,
Okay.
that'd be amazing.
Honestly, those sound. Let's give them 3 picks. Those
Yeah,
are 3
sorry.
solid
I could
ones.
overload you,
No,
but
no. We're
that's
good.
some good
They can
ones.
read those 3. Kelsey, have a song you'd recommend or anything? Or an album you
Love
really
me
like?
some songs. I guess the one song, who is it by?
Phil Wickham.
Or you can even
I
say the
love
name
Phil
of the
Wickham.
song.
Chorus.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Sing it,
Big
Kelsey.
singer girl.
No,
Yeah.
it's,
That was Bible school songs.
yeah.
Oh,
Love Bible school
yeah,
songs.
that's true. Those Bible school songs hit different.
The Land I'm Living In by
Oh.
Jonathan David Hessler and Melissa Helser, that one. I love that song right now, which is something that the Lord gave that song to me kind of as a song over one of our kids who's going through some health stuff right now. And it's a journey. And so I just felt like whenever something comes up, I ask for a word from the Lord about it. Something I can like hold on to, some truth about the situation. And I got this song and it says, I will see your goodness in the land that I'm living in. And it's just about the situation. And like that just spoke to me about this. So yeah, I really like that song right now.
Okay. I like that. And thanks for sharing a little bit of the testimony behind it and
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely. That's awesome.
And then, Landon, you actually wrote a chapter
Oh, yes.
in a book.
Ayo.
I don't know if this is public knowledge or not.
It's not, but it's all right.
Well, we can edit this out.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, we can cut this if this is
Working on it.
working on it. Oh, so
Just
you're
sent-
working on the chapter?
Just sent the final draft in today. So
Nice.
yeah, that's coming out. So that'll
Okay.
be September, October. I don't know, something
What's
like
the
that.
name? Do we know the name of the book?
I
Or is
don't even know.
Oh, you don't even know yet?
No.
Okay. All right.
But
cool.
yeah, so Landon's going to be a book writer. So maybe when that comes out, guys, we will promote
Best-selling
that
author.
with
That's right.
Landon's chapter. in
There you
there.
Yeah,
go.
that'll share a little bit.
Maybe
of the
we'll send it
story
with
and some of the
with-
stuff I shared.
We'll
today.
send a copy of that with the bidet.
Ayo!
Ayo!
There you go.
Winner, winner,
Signed
chicken
cover.
dinner. That way they can read it while they're on the bidet.
Hey! Not enough time for that.
Ah, you're
It's a
right.
time
It's
saver.
too quick.
I'm canceling this.
Jen. Oh, that's so
Done.
funny.
All right, guys. Well,
Bring
we're
it
coming on the
home.
home stretch here.
For the second time.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Were we on the home stretch before?
We were.
It's
We were on the final
seventh
stretch.
inning
Now
stretch.
we're like in the just
Overtime.
ask the last question.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead. Sorry.
All right. What would be a final word of encouragement, if you have any, that you'd like to just leave with our listeners and the world? Because we have a lot of listeners.
Tons.
Feel like all 10 of
like
them.
almost 30. It's crazy.
No, is there? I guess first of all, we want to thank you guys for being on
Yes.
the podcast.
Yes,
You guys
it's
just
been
taking
an
time to
honor.
be here out of your busy schedules and day, especially hearing all that you do, Landon, all that you do with having 3 kids and supporting this guy. Whew, both of you guys have a lot
Yeah,
on your
she
plate.
knows it's a lot.
So being here is just really, really honoring to us. I'm excited to have people hear your episode, and we just really bless you guys in the journey that you're on, and not just in being married and in parenting, but just in your walk with the Lord and where He's taking you guys, the way you guys are following Him, hearing His voice. And it came out in both of you guys as different things you said, is that what you guys want most is to follow what His plan is. And you're doing amazing things in business land and things that you're blazing the trail for a lot of people. And Kelsey, the way that you are parenting your kids and being the rock in your home is like inspiring. And so as you guys like pursue that and continue to pursue God, I just bless you in that and like encourage you to keep doing that. And I believe He's going to bless you in that and use you in so many ways in your business and in your home life and all of that stuff. And so I'm excited for people to hear, and also just excited for what God is doing in you guys' life and what He's going to keep doing, because I have full faith in you guys' hearts for the Lord. And I'm blessed to be a part of your life and to be able to learn from you guys and grow in my life from you, having you guys in it. And yeah, I don't want to get emotional because I'm just really, really proud of who you guys are. and
Thank you.
really, really
you, yeah.
blessed to
that's
have you
awesome.
guys in my life. So thanks for being on this podcast. And is there anything final you want to leave with the listeners?
So I'm sure you have a lot of in the 20s or teens that are listening to this. So one of the big words of encouragement that I would give, so many times people get wrapped up in their 20s of, I need to figure out my career. I need to know where I'm going. I got to know what I'm doing. That's so far from the truth. Learn. In your 20s, learn. It's not about making a whole bunch of money. It is learning and developing in the real world for the future so that you know what to do. So don't get discouraged by moving on from different things. I mean, that's one of the things that I had in my life was I bounced around to different things until we really found out where God wanted us.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of that, but learn a lot in your 20s and dream big. So many times we put God in a box and just dream so small. It's one of the closing things that I'm leaving in the book is if you can dream it. Oh man, I forget now what it was, but I think if you can dream it, you can do it.
Sure.
Oh,
So
Wow.
dream big. Don't just put it small, and get into the kingdom. When you get into the kingdom and you start digging into that, sky's the limit. Amazing. The kingdom of God is vast and wide, and we are here to partake of it and enjoy it. So
yeah.
get into it. Miles Monroe.
Miles Monroe.
Miles.
What a guy.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Solid. Kels.
I would just say I don't know, this could speak to everyone, but be authentic to you. So this is something I'm very passionate about. Like the world has its own set of style in clothes and home decor. And I'm kind of seeing a pattern of like, this is what's considered in style right now. This is how it should look. This is how you should look. Your home should look.
Yep.
If that's not what you like, do not do that. If you don't want, just for an example, if your style is not a farmhouse style, do not decorate farmhouse. You can decorate however you want it to look. It doesn't have to be to what this person says is right and true. I love to see people being authentic to who they are. Like,
That's good.
just however, what things you like do that. Like not just this person says this is how it should be. Don't go by that.
Yeah.
Like that's not
Or
how we're
these are the
supposed
trends.
to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trends.
Right.
Even just like the whole this is a whole other subject, but like the whole like beige and white, which is beautiful. But if you want to wear like a red or a purple, I'm like, please wear that.
Atta
Like
girl.
that
There you
type of
go.
thing. It's like just
Yeah.
because it's in style and it's what everyone is screaming to do, don't just do it because of that. Like do what you love. I love seeing that about a person. Like who, even if it doesn't really make sense to other people, it makes sense to them. And that's how it should be.
Wow.
So authenticity.
That's huge. I think there's a lot of moms and housewives right now that hearing that it's going to be like, wow, like
Yeah.
that reality of the freedom to be you and not just be what everyone else wants you to be or says
Right.
you should be.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
very, very valuable advice, especially for now, the day and age we're living in. So
Yeah.
good stuff.
That's good word, guys. I think we need to kill comparison in today's culture. Like you can have things inspire you, that's fine, but no, this comparison stuff, we're commanded not to do it. We need to get away from that. So
Yeah.
appreciate
Yep.
what both of you had to say. Appreciate your lives. Really excited to see your journey, how you're
Yeah,
walking.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us
Yeah,
on.
thanks for having
For
us.
sure.
Enjoyed
There's
it.
so much
Good.
more wealth of knowledge you guys have, but
It's
at
true.
least we got to encompass a little bit of it in this episode. And yeah, so that brings us to the end, guys. So you just follow our lead in how we close it out. Super easy.
Really easy.
This is the Interview Podcast. I have been Jen.
I've been Derek.
My name is Landon.
My name is Kelsey.
Thank you guys.
Bye,
See y'all
guys.
next time.
See ya.